Now available on YouTube. This is Dave LaGreca, host of Busted Open, the #1 pro wrestling show on the planet. You can now watch and listen to the award-winning Busted Open podcast every single day on YouTube. Our best interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and some of our best content from the past. All available right now when you go to youtube.com/@BustedOpenPodcast. Subscribe right now.
The battle for regional soccer supremacy is on in the Leagues Cup.
That's a super individual goal.
And your home for all the top matches is Sirius XM FC.
It's a masterpiece from Andre Pierre-Gignac.
Hear all your favorite teams from Major League Soccer and Mexico's Liga MX fight for the right to be crowned the King of North America.
Miami, Leagues Cup champions.
The Leagues Cup kicks off Friday night at 8 Eastern on Sirius XM FC and the Sirius XM app.
Slams the ball to right field. Way back. Way gone.
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second. The throw. In time.
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
A Rodriguez day at Rogers Center. With the Blue Jays looking to even up this series against the Rays, the electrifying starter Yariel Rodriguez takes the hill. He'll try to keep the strong stretch going against Zach Eflin. Hi, everyone. Happy Hump Day. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer. Luke Swadron, Armin Zargarian, and Tom Young are our technical directors. Toronto Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Barrie and Orillia. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. The Blue Jays bats struggled yesterday against a bullpen day for the Rays. Even amid the struggles, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. kept rolling with another big fly, his 17th of the year. We'll see if he can stay hot and lead the Blue Jays to a series evening win next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming on the Sportsnet app, sportsnet.ca, and across the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
We're two men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're two men in a truck.
Two men and a truck, the movers who care.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's building center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Embrace the chaos of baseball's trade deadline.
This changes the whole landscape.
Tune to MLB Network Radio for up-to-the-minute news and analysis of every trade, every rumor, straight from the experts, leading up to Tuesday's deadline.
It's a seller's market. It's not going to be easy, but the big boys step up. The big boys get it done.
Don't miss live coverage of baseball's trade deadline on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89, and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
It starts with the veteran guys, guys that have been around, and I think that, Vladdy, George, JT, KK, Bassett, Dawes, I think the way they're going about it, kind of just sets the tone for everyone, and everyone gets where we are in the season. Everyone gets where we are in our season, and that there's, a little bit of uncertainty right now, but you can control how you prepare, you can control how you go play, And I think that the veteran guys have kind of done a really good job of setting the tone for everyone. You know, you focus on each game every single night. That's it. And you kind of move on to the next day.
That was manager John Schneider discussing where the Blue Jays are in relation to the looming trade deadline coming 6 days from now. Game 2 of this series coming up in just a couple of moments. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays and Rays at Rogers Center. And Chris, while a lot of guys might be showcasing themselves for other teams, one guy that definitely is not showcasing himself for this team, Yariel Rodriguez, locked in for the long term. He's going to go back to the mound tonight. What are you expecting? What are you looking for from the righty?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I'm looking for out there is fastball command. Fastball command has been his biggest issue, and it's not about not or throwing balls. It's just better strikes, better location down in the zone at the top of the strike zone. Those are the types of pitches, the types of fastballs that I'm seeing. And then along with that, I want him to throw the split finger more. I think that's going to be the difference maker for him. He needs something that either dives down or fades away arm side. That's going to be a big pitch for him.
We'll see what Rodriguez can do against a tough Rays lineup. First, though, let's look at the standings brought to you by Bet365. Some games underway, some games have happened, but coming into today, Baltimore leading the division. Our Bet365 standings brought to you by Bet365, and you can watch thousands of live games there, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19-plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Orioles 60-40 lead the division. Yankees 60-43 in second. Boston is 54-46 in third. Rays are 51-50, and the Blue Jays are 45-55. Speaking of that Rays lineup, Chris, who does Kevin Cash send out today?
Well, leading off for those Rays and playing second base is Richie Palacios. Isak Paredes will play first base and bat second. DHing and hitting third is Brandon Lau. Randy Arozarena is in the cleanup spot. He'll be in left field. In right field, batting fifth is Josh Lowe. Jose Siri is in center field and will bat sixth. Behind the plate, batting seventh is Ben Rortvedt. At third base, batting eighth is Jose Caballero. And batting ninth is Taylor Walls. He'll be at shortstop. On the mound for the Rays is Zach Eflin. And for the Jays, leading off and playing right field is George Springer. At second base, batting second is Spencer Horwitz. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will play first base and hit third. DHing and batting in the cleanup spot is Justin Turner. Dalton Varsho will play left field and bat fifth. Behind the plate, batting sixth is Alejandro Kirk. At third, batting seventh is Ernie Clement. Kevin Kiermaier is in center field and will hit eighth. And batting ninth is Leo Jimenez. He'll be at shortstop. On the mound is righty Yariel Rodriguez.
Ninth career Major League start for Rodriguez in his rookie season. A 1-3 record for the Cuban righty that just popped out of the dugout and Triple H style spit some water onto the turf before heading over to the hill. Again, 1-3, a 3.78 earned run average in 8 starts, 36 strikeouts to 18 walks in 33 1/3 innings. Rodriguez is coming off some pretty good starts, especially the 6 2/3 with 1 earned run against Houston, and then the 6 scoreless innings at Seattle. His last start, Chris, a little bit of a mixed bag. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs against the Diamondbacks, and it was kind of that same thing you were mentioning off the top, and John Schneider talked about it today. Just a little bit too fine at times, maybe not as direct as he could be, and not having the command of all of his pitches.
Well, I think the biggest thing that John Schneider said is Yariel Rodriguez sometimes has that reliever mentality where every pitch has to be perfect. It's not a high leverage situation in the first inning. Throw that fastball down in the zone, middle of the plate, let them hit the ground ball, let them hit that fly ball and get a quick out. So if he doesn't have that reliever mentality where every pitch has to be on the corner, he can nibble, then he'll be fine. Just throw that pitch, throw that sinker down in the zone, throw that changeup or that split finger down in the zone, let them hit the baseball. And I think that that's the mentality that he has to have.
Rodriguez out on the mound in the Blue Jays City Connect uniforms, the dark pitch blue with the neon-ish striping up the sides and along the sleeves. For the Rays today, they wear their bright blue uniforms with that, give me a little help, yellow star in the middle there for the Rays.
Bright yellow.
Bright yellow star for the Rays. And donning that uniform in the first inning, Richie Palacios, Isak Paredes, and Brandon Lau will hit for Tampa Bay.
It's interesting. Those Rays uniforms actually look like City Connect uniforms.
They do, and they're not.
They are not.
Palacios about to step up. The first inning brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit Armstrong Bird Food Palacios, a left-handed hitter, with rec specs on, taps the plate and looks out at Yariel Rodriguez, who peeks over to his left, and now the pitcher steps to his left into the wind. A long pause, a kick of the knee, and the pitch. High, ball 1. Time of the first pitch today, 7:09 Eastern. Open roof at Rogers Center. Some clouds over left field, blue skies in center and right, 25 degrees. The 1-0. High again. Weird weather day in Toronto, to say the least. Sun, then it got cloudy, some wind, all of a sudden crazy rain. But it's returned to normal. It's turned into a pretty nice day. 2-0 pitch. Down and away, 3 balls and no strikes.
And you could see the disgust from Yariel Rodriguez looking out to right field, almost to the sky. Falling behind the first batter, 3-0, is not the ideal situation that you want.
Palacios is pretty patient, too. He's not going to expand much. 3-0 pitch. On the outside edge, strike 1. John Lipka works the plate tonight. DJ Rayburn at first, crew chief Rob Drake at second, and Charlie Ramos at third. Leadoff hitter of this game, Richie Palacios, faces a 3-1. Swing and a pop-up, fair territory, right side, near the line. Guerrero's waving off Horwitz, and he'll make a two-handed catch, 1 out.
And that's we talked about the starter mentality versus the reliever mentality. That last pitch was at the top of the strike zone, a little bit of cut at the end, and Palacios just pops it up. Those are the types of pitches that you have to throw early in ball games to preserve those pitches and go deep into ball games.
Rodriguez bouncing back there from a 3-0 count. Gets Palacios. Here's the Rays home run leader, Isaac Paredes. Right on right, the pitch. Down and away, ball 1. It's been a good year for Paredes. He was the lone all-star representative for the Rays. .250 batter, 18 doubles. Again, leads the team in homers, 16. Also leads the Rays in RBIs with 51 and walks with 47. Swings at the 1-0 pitch and vaults it to center. Kevin Kiermaier waiting there. Jogs in a few steps, calls for it, and makes the catch. 2 down. It's been a really impressive July for Yariel Rodriguez on the whole. 16 2/3 innings pitched coming into this one. 3 earned runs allowed in that time. An ERA around 1.5. He's into the wind. His pitch to Brandon Lau. Strike 1. That was a 94-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball from Rodriguez. Throws a slider, a curve, a sinker, and a splitter. And you mentioned the cut that he gets a lot on his four-seamer. 1-0. Called strike, 95 with the heater. It's 0-2.
And he tends to get that cut when he throws that fastball at the top of the strike zone. You really don't see it when he gets on top of that fastball and he throws that ball at the bottom, but when he throws that thing to the top of the strike zone, you'll see that cut, and it's pretty awesome.
John Schneider mentioned today thinks it helps him get a little bit deeper into games, that his fastball is deceptive. 0-2 count, 2 outs, space is empty. Rodriguez reaches back, releases, and strikes out loud. Got him with the splitter. And that's a 1-2-3, top of the first. No score, Blue Jays and Rays. George Springer to bat next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you.
Hey Insiders, thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays game against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Yeah, I still call them the Devil Rays. Really appreciate all you guys being here. Please make sure you've hit that like button down below so it helps bring more fans into the chat. The other way to do that is to please share this link out to your friends via social media, whatever. Let's get more people here in the chat, blowing it up, cheering on our Toronto Blue Jays. We've got to get the win tonight to set it up for tomorrow. Let's go Blue Jays. We'll see you guys in the chat.
So that's our company name, 2 men in a truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball painted at the bottom of the zone, and that's back-to-back strikeouts.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali's our host and producer today. Luke Swadron, Armin Zargarian, and Tom Young, our technical directors. Scoreless ball game as the Blue Jays bat for the first time. George Springer leading off for Toronto. 6'6" right-hander Zach Eflin on the other side for the Rays. Gets into the wind, and here's his pitch. Swing and a bouncer foul, 0-1. 19th start of the season for Eflin. Second year with the Rays after 7 years with Philadelphia. He's 5-7 with a 4.14 earned run average. The 0-1. Check swing, appeal down to first. He went around on a pitch inside, says DJ Rayburn. 0-2. Eflin steps back, kicks, fires, and Springer takes it down and in.
Not an incredibly overpowering fastball from Zach Eflin, but what he does have is a ton of movement. Downward movement, horizontal movement.
1-2. Swing and a pop-up, left side foul into the seats.
But generally speaking, that fastball sits 89 to 91, sometimes 93 miles an hour, but man, there is a ton of movement on it.
And he's going to throw a cutter a lot. He throws his curveball and sweeper a ton, just threw the sweeper to Springer. Doesn't strike out many, but does not walk many either. 1-2. Bounced. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 83 strikeouts to 13 walks this year.
Blue Jays have to be ready.
If you're going to beat Eflin, you got to hit against him, which Toronto has done pretty well in Eflin's career. The wind in the 2-2. Bounced foul again, left side. This is the 7th time Eflin has started against the Blue Jays in his career, both with Philly and Tampa Bay. 8th time he's pitched against them overall. He's 2-3 with a 6.35 earned run average. Another 2-2 pitch. Outside, full count.
It says that he's 6'6", 220 pounds. I find that hard to believe. He's probably closer to 235, 240. I'm 220, and he's bigger than me.
I thought you were going to doubt the 6'6". He's definitely 6'6".
Oh, no, he's definitely 6'6", yeah.
3-2 pitch, fouled off again. Springer is working him early on. For reference, Yariel Rodriguez threw 10 pitches in the first inning, despite falling behind 3-0 to the first hitter he saw. Eflin's thrown 8 pitches to his first batter. Here comes the 9th from the right-hander. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on a breaking ball. Springer goes down for the first out.
And George Springer looks really frustrated right now, shaking his head, kind of dragging that bat back with him to the dugout. But it's a tough pitch. It looked like a fastball on the corner and then kind of dipped down. That was a pretty good pitch from Zach Eflin.
First out and first strikeout of the day. Now Spencer Horwitz hits for the Blue Jays. Right on left, the pitch. Bounced foul right side. Karams off the backstop and rolls toward the field of play, 0-1. 37th game of the season for Horwitz, a .302 hitter, 5 doubles and 4 home runs. The 0-1. Reluctant swing there for strike 2. Tried to hold up but couldn't. Now Horwitz will ask for time.
It's a rare swing from Spencer Horwitz on a fastball that was way out of the strike zone. You really don't see that all that often.
He's coming off an unusual day where he went 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. 0-2. Fouled back into the screen. It is easy, though, to forget sometimes with how good he's been that, he's only been in the majors now for 52 games. This is game 52, and he was a 24th rounder by the Blue Jays. Next pitch is hit foul off to the left and into the seats. Toronto drafted him out of Radford University in Virginia, Mid-Atlantic mid-major, so I know that Chris LaRue loves it, in 2019. And needless to say, even by being here right now, he has way outperformed what most would expect out of his draft position. 0-2 pitch fouled off to the right. Horwitz adjusts his helmet, wipes his face, and now faces another 0-2. Fouled back again. Lost his top hand off the bat as he reached out for that one. That was a pitch a little bit off the plate outside. Still no balls and 2 strikes.
But again, this is a guy that hit almost 340 2 years in a row at AAA. It's a pretty good hitter right there.
He's proved he can do it. 0-2 is yanked foul down the right field line. His screamer into the netting.
And generally speaking, when I look at a guy's average in AAA, I tend to think that it'll probably drop 30 to 40 points in the big leagues. So Spencer Horwitz is right where he needs to be.
Another 0-2. This one's high and outside. Ball 1. Yeah, I mean, it would be unfair to say, okay, a guy hits 330 at AAA. He's going to hit 330 in the majors. And it was unfair to expect Horwitz to keep hitting 370 like he was to start the year. 1-2 pitch is hit well left center field. On the run, Siri back near the track. It's over his head and bouncing into the wall. Horwitz is sprinting for second. He'll get there with a stand-up double, his 6th double of the season.
Those are exactly the type of hits that we've seen him get over and over again. A fastball, that was a slider on the outside corner, and he just takes it and drills it into the gap in left center. I don't care if he was 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 Ks. He is a good hitter.
And for Horwitz, he goes down 0-2 in that at-bat. Fouls off 5 straight pitches, takes a ball, and turns it into a 9-pitch double. Now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. trying to drive him in. Scoreless game, runner on second, 1 out, and the pitch. Down and away. Ball 1. Bottom of the first, so the first time we see Guerrero hit today. He's coming off a good day. He had a walk yesterday and a solo home run. From the stretch, Eflin's pitch. Called strike. For Vlad, he leads the team in batting average, 293, doubles 21. Hit his team-leading 17th homer of the season yesterday and knocked his team-leading RBI total up to 60. 1-1 pitch, down and away, ball 2.
That home run he hit yesterday was an absolute rocket.
Hit that ball 424 feet, 112 miles an hour off the bat. And it's not even his hardest hit or deepest home run since the All-Star break. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a liner. Left center field, base hit. Horwitz is getting the wave around third. Arozarena stumbles coming up with it. He'll throw into second. It's an RBI single for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and a 1-0 Blue Jay lead.
That was just a cutter on the outside part of the plate. I don't think Vlad got all of it. He hit it off the end of the bat, but he got just enough of it to get it over Taylor Walls at shortstop. That's a good line drive and another RBI for Vlad.
Make it 61 now on the season for Guerrero. So an early Blue Jays advantage took them until the 6th to score yesterday. Up 1-0 in the first, 1 out, Guerrero on first, and the pitch to Justin Turner. Swinging a liner, down in left field, a base hit. Just split the gap between Caballero at third and Walls at short. Walls dove, and Caballero reached out, but it got right in between them. 3 hits in a row for the Blue Jays. Runners on first and second here in the first.
Well, that was actually a pretty good pitch from Eflin, a sinker that got in on the hands of Justin Turner, but he got just enough of it to get it through that small hole on the left side. Blue Jays are cooking right now.
Trying to add on more with Guerrero on second and Turner on first. 1-0 Blue Jays, 1 out, bottom of the first. Dalton Varsho's up, and the right on left pitch. Outside, ball 1. Varsho had a hit yesterday in 4 tries, batting average at .203, 15 doubles, 6 triples, and 11 homers. 1-0. Called strike. Varsho points his bat out, now wheels it around above his left shoulder. The 1-1. Downstairs, missed there with the changeup. That's the pitch Eflin's going to use the least, but if he uses it, it'll be against left-handed hitters like Varsho or Horwitz earlier or Kiermaier later in the lineup. The 2-1. Swinging a fly ball out to left. Playable for Arozarena. Jogging back on the track, makes the catch. 2 down. And Guerrero tags from second and advances to third. Snuck up on everyone. Vladdy stealing 90 feet there as Arozarena was not geared up to make the throw. And that's a rare advance to third on a fly ball to left.
Yeah, that was a great piece of base running from Vlad. Arozarena was kind of on his heels, backing up against that wall out in left field. And Vlad, again, he has such a high baseball IQ. He noticed that, quickly tagged up at second base, got to third base with 2 outs.
So runners on the corners, and Alejandro Kirk is up. 1-0 Blue Jays, bottom of the first. Eflin kicks and delivers. Kirk takes down and away. Ball 1. Vlad now talking with Carlos Fablis at third. Similar situation at first with Justin Turner and Mark Budzinski. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Kirk was over top of that sinker that broke down and in. That'll even the count up at 1-1.
We've seen Alejandro Kirk shoot that big hole on the right side before. Again, there's a big hole over there. Richie Palacios is almost behind second base.
You got Isaac Paredes, the first baseman, holding on Turner. 1-1 pitch is hit into the ground to short. Picked up by Taylor Walls. He pumps and throws to first to end the inning. Blue Jays get a run on 3 hits. It's an RBI single from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to score Spencer Horwitz. 2 are left on, but it's 1-0 Blue Jays after an inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Summer sounds like poolside party starters, red hot hip-hop mixes, and backyard barbecue classics. With exclusive specials and mixes, plus over 200 extra channels, your sun-soaked soundtrack awaits. Just tap into the SiriusXM app and search Summer Sounds.
It's fantasy football season, because we say it is.
Travis Kelce, touchdown!
From fantasy football strategies to players you need to draft or avoid.
Christian McCaffrey is one of the riskiest #1 overall picks in fantasy football history.
Fantasy Sports Radio is your home to win.
There is no bigger value today than Dak Prescott.
If you're not preparing for the 2024 fantasy football season, you're already losing. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Have you heard the news?
He's here.
He's finally here.
Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and for the first time, you'll be able to hear my podcast, the Dale Jr. Download, right here on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
Please welcome Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the SiriusXM NASCAR Radio team. Hear both unique episodes of the Dale Jr. Download.
Wednesday at 6 p.m. and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90. Or download this week's episode right now on the SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Randy Arozarena kicking away some dirt in the righty batter's box as we get set for the second inning at Rogers Center. 1-0 Blue Jays. Yariel Rodriguez into the wind. Here's the pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Drifting out toward right field now. More of a fly ball that Springer's tracking down near the line. Makes the catch in foul territory. 1 pitch and 1 out. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Yariel Rodriguez has retired all 4 batters he's faced so far. Here comes Josh Lowe.
He's thrown 11 pitches. Filling up the strike zone, throwing strikes early. That's what you have to do as a starting pitcher.
John Schneider did mention no more innings limit for Rodriguez with the missed time he had earlier in the year. Right on left, the pitch to Lowe. High and outside, ball 1. Still wouldn't expect Rodriguez to really be an 100-pitch guy, probably more 85 to 90. The 1-0. Called strike. But we've seen him stretch that into the 7th inning when he's efficient with his pitches. Cuban right-handers on the first base side of the rubber. Steps to his left, pauses, brings his glove up, kicks, and delivers. Outside, 2-1.
There's just really no point to push it at this point, right? Like if he has a solid game, 6 innings, maybe into the 7th, and he's at 90 pitches, just end the ball game.
The 2-1. High and outside, 3-1. And who knows what things would be if the Blue Jays were in a different position standings-wise, but yeah, at this point, individually, every outing is bigger for him probably than team-wise. 3-1 pitch hit foul, 3-2. Full count against Josh Lowe, the right fielder for the Rays, a .217 hitter with 5 home runs. Playing in his 48th game of the year. Here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Backdoored him with a slider. Second strikeout today for Rodriguez, and the second out of the top of the second.
Well, Josh Lowe was frozen on that slider right there. Kind of a cement mixer. Really not located all that well, but Lowe thought it was going to break more than it did, and it kind of just spun up over the middle of the plate for strike 3.
And he hit him with the slow windup, too. Maybe threw his timing off. Here's another slow wind and a pitch to Jose Siri. Downstairs, ball 1. Second inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a bouncer, left side, backhanded by the shortstop Jimenez. Throw over to first, pulls Vlad off. He tags the runner for the out. Good play by Guerrero over at first. Another 1-2-3 inning for Rodriguez. 1-0 Blue Jays. Middle of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or 7th-inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck. The movers who care.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swanson staring at second, comes home with a 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ernie Clement, Kevin Kiermaier, and Leo Jimenez to bat for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the second inning at Rogers Center. Welcome back to downtown Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Clement leading off against Zach Eflin. 1-0 Blue Jays. Right on right. The pitch. Strike 1. Clement batting .264 on the season. 12 doubles, 6 home runs, and 24 RBIs. Next pitch fouled back. Skips off the top of the netting and falls into the stands. 0-2. Clement with an on-base plus slugging at .705 has been around a league average hitter this year. 0-2. Hit on the ground sharply to short, backhanded by Walls. Pops up, throws to first, and gets Clement. 1 down. That'll bring up Kevin Kiermaier, longtime Tampa Bay Ray. Didn't play yesterday, but in there today for the Blue Jays. Not only is it always a big one when Kiermaier plays against the Rays, a team he spent 10 years with, but Kiermaier broke some big news today to Mark Topkin of the Tampa Bay Times. First the pitch from Eflin. Strike one. Kiermaier told Topkin that regardless of what happens this year, whether he's traded or not, or what happens with his team, 0-1, is hit in the air right center field. Going back low, the right fielder circles and makes the catch. 2 down. Kiermaier said that this will be his final season in Major League Baseball, his 12th year. Blue Jays center fielder set down, and now after 2 quick outs, here comes Leo Jimenez, the shortstop and number 9 hitter.
Is that a surprise to you? Outside of the numbers this year, because obviously he's been struggling this year.
First pitch to Jimenez, strike one. I think so. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have guessed that news was coming from Kiermaier. 0-1. Swing and a hard hit ball left center. Siri on the run, reaches out, makes the catch, and ends the inning. A 1-2-3 for Eflin to send us to the third. 1-0 Blue Jays at Rogers Center. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting, because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Called strike 3, change up at the knees, and there's nothing you can do about that pitch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Barrie and Orillia. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com. Canada's #1 rust protection. 1-0 Blue Jays. Yariel Rodriguez deals to Ben Rortvedt. High, ball 1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Rortvedt, Jose Caballero, and Taylor Walls will hit this inning for the Rays. 7-8-9. Rortvedt's a catcher, batting from the left. Points his barrel down toward the dirt. Here's the 1-0. Called strike at the knees. And what a find this has been for the Rays. Traded for Rortvedt in a 3-team deal with the Yankees and the Marlins on the eve of the season. He's batting .262 as the lead catcher for Tampa Bay. 1-1. Swing and a bouncer foul, 1-2.
Rortvedt's a big dude. I was just looking at his forearms as he was standing in the box. He's only 5'9", but he's built like a truck.
5'9", 191 for Ben Rortvedt. 26-year-old from Madison, Wisconsin. Slow wind in the 1-2. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just really couldn't stay healthy over the course of his major league career. Played 71 games in 2021 and 2023 combined. 2-2 pitch, waved and missed. Strike 3. Back foot slider gets Rortvedt. First out here in the top of the third is Rodriguez's third strikeout today.
That was a good pitch right there. A slider that started on the inside part of the plate and then broke way in. Ben Rortvedt swinging over the top of that thing. A ton of bite on that slider right there.
Yariel Rodriguez keeps chugging early on. Here's Jose Caballero, right-handed hitting third baseman. The wind and the pitch. Strike 1. Caballero acquired in the offseason from Seattle. Luke Raley went the other way. Originally to fill a vacancy at shortstop for the Rays. The 0-1. Caballero shows bunt, puts it down third base side of the mound. Barehanded by Rodriguez. Turns and fires to first. Nice play. And there are 2 down.
A lot of pitchers would field that ball and throw it into right field somewhere, but Yariel Rodriguez, pretty athletic dude, throws a strike to first base.
I'm going to have to check how hard he threw that ball. He got some good zip on that throw over to first. Now 2 down. Clement in watching a bunt again. Here's Taylor Wall, switch hitter, batting left. The pitch. Low ball 1.
After Rodriguez threw that baseball, Vlad was actually staring back at him like, hey, man, you don't have to throw it that hard to me.
Threw it 81, which might not sound hard when you talk about the pitches, but it is from flat ground, and he's turning at the same time. Looked like 91. Here's the 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Or pardon me, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, 1-0 Blue Jays. Space is empty, top of the third. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a fly ball, center field, medium depth. Kiermaier turns and faces the plate, reaches his arms up and makes a 2-handed catch to end the inning. 9 up, 9 down for Yariel Rodriguez. 1-0 Blue Jays, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 2024 Training Camp Tour kicks off with the Chicago Bears Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Nobody's going to touch him. End zone. Touchdown.
And SiriusXM NFL Radio brings you down to the field for an all-access pass to your favorite team.
You do your best to put yourself in position to get the result you want.
Everything you need to get ready for the season, with updates on position battles and exclusive interviews from all 32 teams on NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Bottom of the third inning at Rogers Center. 1-0 Blue Jays lead the race. Top of the order for Toronto. George Springer leading off. The pitch from Zach Eflin. Foul tip, strike 1. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight, and welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth, encouraging you to step up for the home team and shop local. Timber Mart stores are family-owned and operated and know the value in giving back to the communities they serve. Now more than ever, it's important to shop local. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali's our host and producer. Luke Swadron, Armin Zargarian, and Tom Young, our technical directors. Next pitch was outside. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a foul ball that hits the back ankle of Springer, and he somersaults over the plate. Now on his knees, hands on his hip in the lefty box. Gets up. Rortvedt hands him his bat back, and he's all right. It's 1-2.
Well, Springer is one of those rare guys that doesn't wear a shin guard or an ankle guard, and that just drilled him right in the middle of the shin. He goes down.
And it's funny he doesn't wear that because he fouls balls off his feet maybe more than anyone I've ever seen.
Maybe he has strong shins.
He has to now. He's back up, though, and standing up tall. Slight waggle of the bat. He points the barrel to the sky. 1-2. Just outside and low. Tough take there on the sweeper that started over the plate but broke away. 2-2. Eflin quickly back on the rubber. First batter of the bottom of the third. Here's the 2-2. Check swing. That one definitely down and away. Full count. Spencer Horwitz is on deck. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. after him. Payoff pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. Hits the mound and then second base, but fielded by Richie Palacios, who throws over to first. 1 out. That ball was begging to take some funky hop or a weird direction, but somehow stayed true up the middle despite all the obstacles in its way.
Yeah, the Rays got lucky that Eflin didn't deflect that baseball. Richie Palacios was right behind second base in the perfect spot to field that ground ball. Zach Eflin actually reached for it, trying to get it.
Now Eflin's pitch to Spencer Horwitz, outside and low, ball 1. 1-0 Blue Jays, and Horwitz scored that run. He doubled to left center field in the first inning and scored on the Vladdy single. Swings at the second pitch and pops it up a little bit over top of us and off to the left. Foul ball, 1-1. Horwitz running an on-base percentage over 400 since being promoted on June 8th. 1-1. Swing and a fly ball deep right field. Low going back, has a little bit of room on the track, and makes the catch. 2 outs and still nobody on.
Well, that was a changeup that kind of faded away. If that was a fastball, that thing would have been 400 feet to right field. Spencer Horwitz got that off the end of the bat and hit it about 5 feet from the wall in right field.
Just didn't have the good sound that you would hear from a homer. Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. speaking of homers. And the pitch. Called strike 1.
The rare changeup from Eflin. He only throws that thing 3% of the time.
He's thrown 1 to Varsho today and 1 to Horwitz. 2 outs, space is empty, the 0-1. Guerrero takes down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the Sportsnet TV broadcast, they just ran pre-haircut, post-haircut stats for Vlad. We do not have that type of analytics here on the radio.
They are bored up there.
Swinging a bouncer foul, 1-2. What I will say is 10 homers post-haircut, 7 pre-haircut, and almost 3 times as many games pre-haircut. So, Chris, do you think that cutting his hair turned around Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s season?
I don't know. I think he looked the same. I think he looks the same.
It did not, to be clear.
Yeah. Maybe he's a little lighter. I have no idea.
1-2 pitch. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, and really this breakout for Vlad started a while ago. He just wasn't hitting for as much power, but he was hitting well over 300 months ago. 2-2. Swing and a fly ball. Deep left field. Arozarena turning. See you later. Add that to the list. Another moonshot home run for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 2-0 Blue Jays.
Well, is it the hair or is it that sweeper that was right down the middle? Maybe a little bit of both. That was another good swing from Vlad on that spinning slider right over the middle. Such a pretty swing. That was a moonshot.
399 feet for Guerrero, 105 off the bat, his 18th home run of the season, now 62 RBIs as he's driven in both runs for the Blue Jays today. Pitch to Justin Turner, strike 1.
So pre-haircut 7 homers, post-haircut 11 homers.
11 homers.
It just
Barber's
keeps getting
get
better.
A raise, man. 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Now we got to keep our eye on Turner because yesterday after Guerrero homered, Turner homered. They went back-to-back, and it was on an 0-2 count like the count that Turner faces now. Eflin winds and delivers. Swing and a pop-up to first. Under it, Paredes makes the catch, ends the inning. Solo home run by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has doubled the Blue Jay advantage. They're up 2-0 after 3 innings. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
2 professional IndyCar drivers hop on a microphone and chit-chat twice a week. What do you call that?
Is it a podcast?
It is indeed, Alex.
James, can we just do our regular promo intro, please?
Just trying to be cool and have fun with it.
Well, you're not cool or fun.
Fine. Hi, everybody. I'm James Hinchcliffe.
And I'm Alexander Rossi.
And we're the hosts of Off Track with Hinch and Rossi, a Sirius XM podcast. If you want to hear more of us agreeing and disagreeing on all things related and unrelated to IndyCar, tune in every Tuesday and Thursday. You won't want to miss it.
Listen to Off Track now wherever you get your podcasts.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3.
What's up, Blue Jays fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you to all 31,243 of you as of time of record who have hit that subscribe button. To those of you that are new here, please hit that subscribe button, and all of you, make sure that bell is turned on so you don't miss any of our awesome Toronto sports action. Whether we're live for the game and you've got a place to hang out with fellow Toronto sports fans, or whether we upload some shorts with some highlights or some other awesome sports content. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it, and welcome to everybody that's new to this awesome, amazing Toronto sports community. Back to the action. We'll see you in the chat.
89 and on the Sirius XM app.
After the game, join us on MLB Network Radio. We're talking baseball with you all season long on Sirius XM Channel 89 and the Sirius XM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
The fourth inning is presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Yariel Rodriguez deals to Richie Palacios, who takes strike 1. 2-0 Blue Jays just extended the lead on a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. solo homer. Game 2 of this series, Rays won yesterday 4-2. The 0-1. Swing and a foul right back into the screen. That one was up and in, and Palacios stumbled back as he swung at it. 0-2.
That was that fastball that he throws up and in that has just a little bit of cut right at the end into the hands of those left-handed hitters.
Second time through for Rodriguez. Throws his 32nd pitch of the game. Called strike 3. Dots the inside corner with a sinker. 4 strikeouts today and 1 out in the top of the 4th. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. First, the pitch to Isaac Paredes. Strike 1. Some finals already, including a crazy score at Coors Field. 20-7, the Rockies beat the Red Sox today. The 0-1. Swing and a fly ball deep left. Angling back Varsho near the track. Slows up, makes the catch. 2 down.
You hate to see that kind of a score when 2 Canadians are on the mound.
Good day for Cal Quantrill. He had a quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs, 2 of them earned.
But
tough day for Nick Pivetta. 2 2/3, 10 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned. Quantrill would pick up the win to go to 7-7 on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. 2 down, bases empty, 2-0 Blue Jays. Rodriguez winds and delivers to Brandon Lau. Bouncer foul from the left-handed hitter. 0-1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Lau DHing for a second straight day, hitting .237 with 11 homers this year, including a 2-run shot yesterday. Swings at the 0-1 and pops it up back of second base. Varsho sprinting into left center, calls off the shortstop Leo Jimenez, and makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 for Yariel Rodriguez. It's the middle of the fourth inning, and it's 2-0 Blue Jays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Carnival is at the core of Toronto culture. Stand out in the crowd with your Blue Jays neon hat giveaway. The colors, the music, the heat, the vibes.
I don't know who's having more fun, the players or the fans.
Be at Rogers Center as the Blue Jays celebrate Caribbean Carnival and create core memories of summer in the city.
Everybody's feeling good right now.
Arrive early on Friday, July 26th and claim your Blue Jays neon hat. Blue Jays Caribbean Carnival. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
We're two men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're two men in a truck.
Two men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Next pitch, Moniak takes off. It's low a ball, throw down to second. They got him!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Dalton Varsho leading off for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the fourth inning at Rogers Center. Thanks so much for joining us. First pitch from Zach Eflin is a little bit low. Ball one. 2-0 Blue Jays lead. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Varsho flied out to left field in his first at-bat. The 1-0 is roped on the ground, foul. 1-1. Varsho leads the Blue Jays with 6 triples this year, matching the high of any Blue Jay last year. Kiermaier had 6 last season. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Can I give you an impromptu trivia question that I promise everyone listening I did not prepare Chris for at all?
You know I love these trivia questions.
All right, let's do it.
I was kidding.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do it anyway. So Varsho has 6 triples. Last time a Blue Jay had 7 was 2018. First the 1-2, called strike 3. Varsho goes down to start the inning. This guy who had 7, he is active in Major League Baseball, although he's not on the Blue Jays anymore. But it's not an out-of-nowhere obscure guy. Do you have any idea who might have hit 7 for the Blue Jays in 2018?
Kevin Pillar.
Not Kevin Pillar, but that's a decent guess. You let me know when you want it. Here's Alejandro Kirk, the first pitch. Down and away, ball 1.
And he's still active.
He's still active.
Is he a productive member of Major League Baseball?
He's a very productive member of Major League Baseball.
Right.
The 1-0. Swing and a chopper left side, fielded by the third baseman Caballero. Spins, throws on a hop to first, dug out by Paredes. 2 down.
Teoscar Hernandez?
Correct.
All right.
Correct. That's quite the hit from you. That is not...
surprising I got one right.
I just think that's something that people wouldn't expect. Teoscar is sneaky faster than he seems, but 7 triples from Teoscar Hernandez in 2018 stuck out to me. Ernie Clement is up now. 2 out, space is empty. 2-0 Blue Jays, bottom of the fourth. First pitch strike, 0-1.
Was Kevin Pillar even on the roster in 18?
It's a good question. I lean no. He was.
Oh, okay.
Traded in 19. 0-1 pitch is bounce foul right side. 0-2. 18 was really his last year as a Blue Jay. Pillar played 5 games for the Blue Jays in 2019 before spending 156 games with the San Francisco Giants. 0-2 pitch to Clement. Hit on the ground to third, vacuumed up by Caballero. Pops up, throws on to first, and ends the inning. Eflin sets down the Blue Jays in order. We go to the fifth, where Toronto is leading 2-0. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Quiet your mind, reduce your stress, and rest easy with experiences designed to help you fall asleep easier and faster in the SiriusXM app. Drift away to the rolling ocean waves of the brand new Summer Sleep Channel. Sink into the comforting white noise of a storm shower on Rainfall Radio. Or find peace in the serene sounds of forest dreams. Relax with these and many more channels in the SiriusXM app. Just search sleep.
It's fantasy football season, because we say it is.
Travis Kelce, touchdown!
From fantasy football strategies to players you need to draft or avoid.
Christian McCaffrey is one of the riskiest #1 overall picks in fantasy football history.
Fantasy Sports Radio is your home to win.
There is no bigger value today than Dak Prescott.
If you're not preparing for the 2024 fantasy football season, you're already losing. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app. The most important person in sports is you, the fan.
Let me tell you something. I'm a real fan.
And your place for sports talk is Mad Dog Sports Radio, where your voice is heard all day long.
I couldn't wait to get into the truck, turn on 82.
Share the thrill of victory.
The joy, the jubilation. I can't stop smiling.
And the agony of defeat.
When is this franchise going to realize people really care about this?
Passionate sports fans call 888-MAD-DOG-6.
You gotta love sports.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, or anytime on the SiriusXM app.
The UFC is on SiriusXM. Hear all the action live from the Octagon every weekend on SiriusXM Fight Nation Channel 156.
Radio Network.
It's the fifth inning, brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins awarded another 150 grants worth $20,000 each to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz at goodsparkgrants.ca. First pitch, Yariel Rodriguez to Randy Arozarena misses high. It's 2-0 Blue Jays, top of the fifth. The wind and the 1-0. Misses outside this time, 2-0.
Rodriguez just threw his 38th pitch. We are in the top of the fifth inning.
Pretty outrageous from the righty starter, who steps to the side, kicks and delivers, and Arozarena fouls it back. This will be a tough inning, though, with Arozarena, Lowe, and Siri. It's a matchup of two Cuban-born players with Yariel Rodriguez and Randy Arozarena. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Ugly there from Arozarena, who slowed his bat down but could not get it on the sinker. 2-2.
He was actually laughing after that ugly swing right there. That was a good pitch on the inside part.
Quickly, the 2-2. Fouled back. While Arozarena is from Cuba, many might associate him with Mexico, the team he played for in the 2023 World Baseball Classic. When Arozarena defected from Cuba in 2016, he established residency in Mexico and actually played in their winter leagues for his first 3 pro seasons. Two again. Hit down the right field line, slicing fair ball, bouncing toward the corner. Arozarena loses his helmet around first. It's picked up by Springer in the corner, and Arozarena settles into second with a leadoff stand-up double. First base runner for the Rays today.
Well, that was just a good piece of hitting right there from Arozarena. You said that it would be a tough at-bat, and he just sticks the bat out and pokes it down the line for a leadoff double.
19th double on the season for Randy. Second on the Rays to Yandy Diaz, who's not with the team right now, dealing with a personal matter. That'll bring up Josh Lowe with nobody out and a runner on second. 2-0 Blue Jays, top of the fifth. Breeze coming in as Rodriguez works from the stretch. A look at second in the pitch. High, ball 1.
And kind of going back to your Randy Arozarena playing for Mexico point, I believe you have to have your passport of that country to play for that country.
You would know better than me. A veteran of the World Baseball Classic, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Well, I don't know this. I'm not 100% sure of the specifics because I've always been a citizen of Canada, but I almost think that you have to have your passport. Like Freddie Freeman played for us. Both of his parents are Canadian, so I think he has his passport.
Okay. 1-1. High 2-1. Well, I know that when he declared that he was playing for Mexico in 2020, he stated his longtime residency there and the fact that his daughter was born in Mexico. And he was very good for Mexico in the tournament. 2-1. Called strike 2-2. He led them in pretty much every notable stat category. Won MVP of his pool, which included USA, and had great performances from Mike Trout and Trey Turner. And he robbed a homer in the semifinal loss to Japan. 2-2. Swinging a bouncing ball right side. Dive from Guerrero. It's off his glove and into right field. They give the wave to Arozarena, and the throw will come into second. It's an RBI single for Josh Lowe. The Rays are on the board. It's now 2-1 Blue Jays with nobody out in the top of the fifth.
Well, that was a great attempt from Vlad, diving into the hole on the right side of that infield. Just got a piece of it. I almost think that if he didn't get a piece of that, George Springer has a chance to throw out a Arozarena at home plate, but it slowed the ball down just enough, and George Springer just threw that thing into second base.
Yeah, Guerrero just tipped it. And now back-to-back hits for the Rays after no base runners for 4 innings. Pitch to Jose Siri, late swing and a miss. 0-1. 2-1 Blue Jays over Rays in Toronto on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The Marlins, who beat the Orioles yesterday, are up 3-0 on Baltimore in the bottom of the fifth. Xavier Edwards with a run-scoring single. Nick Gordon brought in Otto Lopez on a sac fly. 0-1. Outside and high, 2-1.
Mets are also beating the Yankees in the Subway Series. Top of the fourth, 3-2. Garrett Cole's given up 3 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings.
That's a game that's been all homers. Gleyber Torres homered yesterday. He homered again today in the first. Next pitch is up and in. And the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. And no, are they going to call a balk? I think they are. They're going to get Yariel Rodriguez on a balk, so that pitch will not count. But Josh Lowe goes to second. Rodriguez, I think they're saying, never came to a full stop.
Well, nobody was really arguing or questioning that call, but I just watched the replay. It kind of looked like he came to a stop.
It'll be a runner in scoring position again, though, with nobody out. And the pitch home. Siri takes it. And Rodriguez now trying to work out of trouble still. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner on second. 2-1 Blue Jays, top of the fifth. 50 pitches now for the Cuban starter, who's set at the belt. Brings his glove up to his chin. A look at second in the pitch. Fouled back off of the equipment of Kirk and rolling toward the first base dugout, 2-2. Let's circle back on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Gleyber Torres homers in the first. That at the time made it 1-0 Yankees. Then Tyrone Taylor homered to tie it off Garrett Cole for the Mets. Juan Soto homered to make it 2-1, and then Pete Alonso hit a 2-run shot. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Front door slider. You could hear Jose Siri disagreeing with the call. He's still talking with John Libka, but he'll walk back to the dugout. 5th strikeout of the day for Rodriguez, first out of the 5th.
Yeah, you could actually hear Jose Siri say, no, that ball was a strike. It wasn't a great pitch, just a backup slider on the inside part, but that was definitely a strike. Probably a hittable pitch, too.
Siri started to swing, but held back. 1 out now, runner on second still. The pitch to Ben Rortvedt, called strike 1. Got to talk to Kevin Cash today a little bit about Ben Rortvedt, who we mentioned in his last at-bat, has broke out for the Rays this season. The 0-1. Swinging a bouncing ball to short, picked up by Leo Jimenez. Throw over to first in time. Lowe will advance over to third. And one of the things that Cash was so fascinated with about Rortvedt, yes, he's hitting a lot more, but he's been a lot healthier than usual. But his ability to learn the pitching staff of the Rays after being traded a day before the season and catching extra bullpens during games that he wasn't playing and just doing everything he can to be in the spot he is now as the lead catcher for Tampa Bay. 2 down, Jose Caballero at the plate. 1 run in this inning for the Rays, and Josh Lowe at third. First pitch is high and outside, ball 1.
And I think that's an important point from you and Kevin Cash is it's not only about the numbers on the offensive side. Yes, he's hitting 261, 25 RBIs. That's great, but you have to have a good rapport with your pitching staff. You have to know what they want to throw in certain counts, and I think people forget that.
1-0 pitch is in there, 1-1. The Rays came into this year, it looked like Rene Pinto was going to be their main catcher, and Rortvedt was going to be a little bit more off the bench, but Rortvedt played his way into playing time. 1-1 pitch is hit in the air, left field, going back Varsho to the track, at the wall, leaps, did he get it? He did! Yariel Rodriguez with his hands in the air. Just another day for Dalton Varsho. A highlight reel catch up against the wall, and that will end the top of the 5th inning. Rays get 1 on the Josh Lowe single. It's 2-1 Blue Jays, middle of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The biggest names in NASCAR talk are now with SiriusXM.
Hey, this is Denny Hamlin, host of Actions Detrimental, driver of the number 11 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, and co-owner of 2311 Racing. Join me and my co-host Jared Allen every Monday for a recap of each NASCAR race from the driver's seat. We'll break down how my race went and hopefully ending in victory lane.
Hear Actions Detrimental plus every incredible podcast from Dirty Mo Media right now on the SiriusXM app.
Nothing matches the passion, the excitement, the history-making moments of college sports. My goodness! And nobody takes you inside the greatest campuses and stadiums across the country like SiriusXM College Sports Radio.
What's up, insiders? This community continues to grow like crazy. All because of you guys sharing this link out on the social networks, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, however you have it. And check us out while you're at it, and make sure to drop a follow at TS_insider on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Thank you guys for your support in building this community. Let's make it even bigger and even better as we head into hockey season coming up in a couple of months. We'll see you guys in the chat. Go Blue Jays, go!
MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM
Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1, the Blue Jays leading the Rays at Rogers Center. Kevin Kiermaier leading off. The pitch from Zach Eflin. Outside, ball 1. A moment ago, Dalton Varsho made, I want to say, one of his better plays of the year, but he just seems to do it every day. A leaping catch at the wall. 1-0 pitch cut on and missed, 1-1. There was a thought of, did that ball hit the wall? Because you could see the wall rippling a little, but on slow-mo, it looked like his glove actually got it.
I thought it hit the wall.
1-1. Outside, 2-1. Did you see the slow-mo?
Yeah, I did. I after seeing the slow-mo, I could see that it did not hit the wall, but it was pretty close.
Yeah. Stopped a run from scoring, kept the Blue Jays on top as Kiermaier foul tips the 2-1 and evens up the count at 2-2.
And, of course, the Rays didn't challenge, so.
Yeah. Next offering is bounce to the right side and foul. Still 2-2. It really feels like Dalton Varsho, who probably could have got one last year, is setting himself up for a Gold Glove this year. Speaking of, 4-time Gold Glover Kevin Kiermaier faces another 2-2 and foul tips it into the glove of Ben Rortvedt. Strike 3. Let's take a look at the injury report, brought to you by Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. You focus on getting better, and Bergmanis Pereira will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. First, with one out, the pitch to Leo Jimenez. Strike one. A couple things John Schneider was asked about today. Joey Votto, of course, was going to play in Buffalo a couple days ago, then tweaked his ankle right before. 0-1. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Asked for an update. Schneider said there wasn't really an imminent update. The good news is that he's still in Buffalo, did not go back to Dunedin, and he's considered day-to-day for now. 1-1. Bounce back behind Jimenez. Foul. 1-2. Maybe one of the more interesting updates of the day. Ricky Tiedemann has been dealing with, unfortunately, right arm issues for a lot of this season. He's going to get second and third opinions. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gets him on a big breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Eflin. 2 down. Tiedemann is going to see the two pillars, really, of arm-related injuries in Major League Baseball, really all injuries. He's going to see Dr. Keith Meister in Texas and then Dr. Neil Elatrash in Los Angeles. 2 down, the pitch to George Springer. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
So he's already planned on seeing two separate guys. He hasn't seen either one yet.
That is my understanding.
I've never heard of that before.
0-1. Broken bat flare to second, caught underhanded by Palacios to end the inning. Blue Jays go down 1-2-3. Eflin has retired 7 in a row, but Toronto still leading 2-1 as we go to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Mondays on City TV, Jen's journey for love continues.
I'm gonna fall in love, and I'm gonna do it my way.
On The Bachelorette.
Jen is truly a woman of a man's dreams.
I just feel so hopeful.
But finding the one.
I'm falling for you, and I'm not afraid to say it.
What could go wrong?
Will be easier said than done.
This is all a show to you, bro. You stand no chance.
You think you're ready for an engagement? I just don't want to choose the wrong person again.
The Bachelorette. All new Mondays 8, 7 Central on City TV. Or stream it on City TV Plus.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm
Hey, this is Kevin Kiermaier. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Every day I'm hustling.
6th inning at Rogers Center. Tight ball game. Blue Jays and Rays 2-1. Toronto leads Tampa Bay. Yariel Rodriguez, the right-handed starter, winds and delivers to Taylor Walls. First pitch hit foul to the left, in the air, and into the seats. 0-1. 6th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins is a big fan of small biz. That's why they awarded another $3 million to small business owners across the country. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz this year at goodsparkgrants.ca. The 0-1. Bouncing ball foul, 0-2. Rodriguez is about to throw his 60th pitch, but he did have a long 5th inning, and the Blue Jays have the lefty Brendan Little up in the pen. 2-strike offering. In the dirt, Walls backs out of the way, 1-2. There are a couple lefties coming up at the top of the order for the Rays, Richie Palacios and Brandon Lau, although they're combined 0 for 4. 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Brendan Little warming up in this type of situation. The Blue Jays leading 2-1 tells you exactly how John Schneider feels about Brendan Little.
2-2. Fouled back. Been one of the rising pitchers for the Blue Jays this year. Saw him yesterday. He pitched a scoreless inning across 2 different frames and struck out 2 batters. Rodriguez with 5 strikeouts today and no walks. Steps to the side, reaches back and releases a 2-2. Check swing, pitch down and in, appeal to third. He did not go around, says Charlie Ramos. Full count. Right on left matchup. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hard fastball below the knees at 94. Gets walls. 6 strikeouts for Rodriguez.
And there's that good fastball. 94 miles an hour. Just throw that thing to the bottom of the strike zone. There's no need to nibble. That's a great pitch right there from Yariel Rodriguez.
Left-handed hitter Richie Palacios up and Little still in the pen. They're letting Rodriguez keep going. His pitch runs inside, almost hit Palacios, who ducks out of the way, 1-0. Palacios is 0 for 2, a pop-up and a strikeout. Next pitch. Checks his swing, it's high. Called high at least, looked pretty good, 2-0. "66 pitches so far for the righty. His 2-0. High and outside, ball 3. In a moment, we'll check the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. First, the 3-0 to Palacios. Called strike. Palacios, the former Cardinal and Guardian, takes a walk. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, it was 3-0 Marlins over the Orioles, but with 2 outs, Colton Cowser with a bases-clearing double has tied the game at 3. So now 3-3, top of the 6th. 3-1 pitch from Rodriguez. Bounced foul, full count. Blue Jays will play the Orioles soon. They have this series, then Texas on the weekend, and then they go to Baltimore for 4 games in 3 days. A doubleheader on Monday. 3-2. Popped up back of the plate. Drifting to the third base side and into the seats.
Are you looking forward to that doubleheader?
Yeah.
You're in Baltimore, right?
I am.
Nice.
And it's the better of the 2 options, I think, for players, fans, everyone involved. It's not a split doubleheader where it's a 12 and a 7, 1 game at 3, 1 game at 6:35, if I'm not mistaken. So we just get 5-6 hours of baseball going on Monday. 3-2. High, ball 4. That'll be the first walk issued today by Rodriguez. A free pass to Palacios with 1 down.
So 5 or 6 hours of baseball. It's like a game in 2014.
Oh, yeah. You were there.
Oh, buddy.
This one has flown by so far, although not a lot of offense has been the main culprit. It's 2-1 Blue Jays, top of the 6th. Palacios on first, 1 out. And the pitch to Isaac Paredes. Strike 1. Paredes has been the most productive Rays hitter this year, although he's in a prolonged skid since the start of June, batting below 200. 0-1. Swinging a fly ball to right. Springer backpedaling. Now moves a couple steps in and makes the catch. 2 down, left-handed hitting Brandon Lau is about to come up. And John Schneider will make a move to the field. Trying to get a left-on-left matchup here to end the 6th inning. He points out for Brendan Little, and that will be the day for Yariel Rodriguez. A very impressive 5 2/3 from the righty. He fist pumps all his teammates and hands the ball to John Schneider, who gives him a pat on the chest. Well-deserved ovation for Rodriguez, who takes off his cap, skips over the line, and waves to the fans at Rogers Center. 2-1 Blue Jays as Little comes in with 2 outs and a runner on first, top of the 6th. Let's go back to baseball control. Here's today's host, Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, don't forget we do have Jays Talk tonight. Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker have the post-game show. They will take your calls. Blair will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. All right, let's check that out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Some big news today out of Canada soccer with the women's team set to take on New Zealand tomorrow to begin their defense of that gold medal that has been somewhat overshadowed by off-field issues. 2 members of the Canada soccer support team were sent home following a drone found filming New Zealand's practice. Head coach Bev Priestman has been voluntarily recused herself from coaching tomorrow's game. Andy Spence will coach in her absence. The Canadian Olympic Committee has announced an independent review of Canada soccer, and the complaint leveled by New Zealand has also requested that Canada, despite what goes on tomorrow morning, gain no points in the standing, regardless of a win or a draw. Either way, the game gets going at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. They will then play France on July 28th and Colombia on July 31st. On the basketball side, the women's basketball team wrapped up the final tune-up game against Spain earlier today. They got thumped 68-48 in exhibition play. Kayla Alexander led the way for Canada with 10 points. Aaliyah Edwards chipping in with 8 points and 14 rebounds. The next game, though, will be for real. The women's tournament begins on Monday, July 29th against France. Team Canada ranked 5th, France ranked 7th. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Brendan Little on the mound down at the Rogers Center. Let's get back down there. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. 23rd appearance of the season for Little, a 4.15 earned run average for the lefty. His job is get 1 out here to end the top of the 6th. 2 down. Palacios on first, and the pitch to Brandon Lau. Palacios takes off, pitches low a ball, a pump from Kirk, and now the throw. It's laid. A head-first dive in by Palacios for his 17th stolen base of the year.
He's only been caught stealing once. So you know if he's going, he's probably stealing that base.
And it looked like that pitch maybe got stuck in the glove of Kirk or spun on him as he took it out. Now the 1-0, down and in, 2-0. So runner in scoring position now for the Rays. Runner on second, 2-1 Blue Jays, 2 outs top of the 6th. Lau is 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a flyout. Little sets at the belt, kicks and delivers home. Outside, ball 3.
And you don't want to put the go-ahead run on here, but you have to be careful, especially with that guy in scoring position.
Lau's 2-run homer in the 5th inning created a lot of distance yesterday in the game. The Rays would win 4-2. 3-0. High ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Lau, and now 2 on with 2 outs. Brendan Little goes to the rosin bag and stretches his arms out. The lefty-lefty matchup is gone, and now Little will face righty swinger Randy Arozarena, who doubled last inning and scored as the lone run today for the Rays.
And these are those high-leverage situations in a ball game that you really see what a pitcher's made of. Brendan Little hasn't been in a ton of high leverage this season. This will be big for him here.
This is really his first major league year, although he pitched once in 2022. The pitch to Arozarena, just outside, ball 1. One thing that has made Little effective this year is that he's pitched well against both lefty hitters and righty hitters. Righties are stronger against him, but batting .256. 1-0. Low 2-0. Now the concern is getting in the zone. 6 straight balls for Little to start the appearance. He again goes to the rosin bag and steps back on the rubber. Palacios on second, Lau on first. 2-0. High, 3 balls and no strikes.
Brendan Little's asking where that pitch was, but that was definitely a ball above that strike zone. He really hasn't thrown a pitch that's close yet.
Lefty kicks and delivers. Rosarena swings and lines it to left field, a base hit. Palacios getting the wave around third, and Varsho's going to hold on to it. Palacios scores. It's an RBI single for Rosarena, and we're tied at 2 in the 6th.
And those are things that just can't happen if you're a high leverage reliever. Coming into a ball game like this, you have to be able to throw strikes coming into this game, walking the leadoff hitter and then falling behind the second guy 3-0. That's just something that cannot happen. And here comes Pete Walker.
That will close the line on Yariel Rodriguez. The Palacios base runner was owed to him. Rodriguez today goes 5 2/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Be a pinch hitter coming up as well after the mound visit with Walker is over. Josh Lowe was scheduled to hit a lefty batter. Instead, Kevin Cash goes to Ahmed Rosario, a righty swinger who's having a very impressive year for Tampa Bay.
And again, regardless of how many balls he throws, you have to keep him in this ball game for 3 different hitters. He's thrown 8 pitches, only 1 strike so far.
Blue Jays do have action in the pen. Trevor Richards is up and throwing. And now a tie game, 2-2 at Rogers Center. 2 on. It's Lau on second and Rosarena on first, and 2 outs. Kirk goes in front of the plate to give some information to the infield about what he would do on a double steal, and now we're ready to go. Rosario, a .309 hitter in 72 games this year, steps in. Left on right, the pitch. Bounce to the plate, ball 1. Little peeks back at second, delivers home, and a swing and a miss by Rosario on a high fastball. That was the cutter from Little, throws the sinker most often, also a knuckle curve. Dangling his left arm by his side, he leans in toward Kirk, and now sets at the belt, he'll step off. Going to the rosin bag again, like maybe he's having some trouble gripping the ball right now. Lefty's got the sign. The 1-1. Chopped to third base, charging in Clement. Has to transfer and throw quickly, and does, to make the play and end the inning. Rays get another run, though, on 1 hit and 2 walks. They leave 2 on, but they've tied the game. It's 2-2, middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the sound of where you've been and who you are. And SiriusXM has channels for every era of classic country. New Millennium hits are on Y2 Country, Channel 57. The 80s and 90s play all day, every day on Prime Country, Channel 58. And Willie's Roadhouse, Channel 61 is Honky Tonk Heaven. Classic country curated by the legend Willie Nelson. Listen to all these and more across SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
The NFL Radio Training Camp Tour is almost here.
The process with all our players is to come out and improve and get better each day.
Nobody gets you ready for the 2024 season like we do.
For the veteran players, they want to see the guy earn the job.
Don't miss analysis from our experts and interviews with head coaches, executives, and players.
We embrace this portion of our journey. We're just here to work and get better.
Hear coverage of the National Football League all year long on NFL Radio Channel 88 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Listen to PGA Tour Radio's library of golf originals on the SiriusXM app. Playing with Tiger.
Rule number 1 when playing with Tiger, keep your mouth shut.
Basically destroy Stephen Ames today, 9 and 8.
Ryder Cup Chronicles, 10-6.
I have a good feeling about this. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Listen to the entire catalog of golf originals. Search PGA Tour Radio Specials on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host and producer, Luke Swadron, Armin Zargarian, and Tom Young, our technical directors. Defensive substitution for the Rays in a 2-2 game. Ahmed Rosario stays in and plays second base. Richie Palacios has moved from second to right field to cover for Josh Lowe. First pitch of the inning from Zach Eflin hits the outside corner against Spencer Horwitz. 0-1. Rays just tied it up on a Randy Rosarena RBI single. 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1. Today, Horwitz is 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, also a flyout. 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Zach Eflin on 78 pitches in the 6th. 2-1. Fouled off to the left, 2-2. He's really settled down after some early problems. 4 hits and 2 runs in the first 3 innings. But now he's retired 7 straight. 2-2. Swing and a flare, left center field, sinking and down for a base hit. Falls into the gap. Horwitz with a big turnaround first, but he'll scramble back to the bag. He's got a leadoff single.
Well, I thought for a split second he would get 2 on that baseball out there, but Randy Rosarena does a good job tracking that baseball down and throwing it into second base. But Spencer Horwitz, again, going the other way, splitting those guys out in the outfield. Such a professional hitter, knows exactly what he's doing out there.
And he's just having a good time. It looked like he was smiling as he was running around first base, and now he's laughing it up a little bit with Mark Budzinski as Kyle Snyder goes out to the mound to talk to Zach Eflin. Gives us time to let you know that time is running out to join in on Jays Care's life-changing 50-50 jackpot. For a limited time, you could get more tickets and more chances to win than before. Imagine what you could do with the grand prize, which right now is at $381,000. Visit BlueJays.com/5050 from Ontario or Nova Scotia.
And $177.
There you go. I take the 177, get a great meal, and then put the 381.
I don't know, man. With inflation, I don't even know if you're getting a great meal for $177.
It's now $227, so I take $227, get a great meal.
Now we're talking.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 2 for 2 today, a single, a homer, 2 RBIs. The pitch. Strike 1. Guerrero's average up to 296. He's got lots of room on that right side of the infield with the second baseman Rosario up the middle. Horwitz on first, the pitch. Chopped to short. This could be 2. Walls picks it up. Options to second 1. Rosario to first. Double play. 6-4-3. They turn it. Rosario threw while Horwitz was sliding into him. Kind of fell on top of him, but both are all right, and they're now 2 down with the bases empty.
And that weak ground ball right there from Vlad shows you exactly how effective Zach Eflin's sinker really is. He threw that sinker down the middle. It dropped out of the zone, basically, when it hit the plate. And Vlad, all he could really do is just hit that weak ground ball to shortstop.
That brings up Justin Turner now with 2 down and the bases empty. He takes ball 1. 2-2 game, bottom of the 6th. Eflin's pitch. Fouled back, 1-1. Some rumors swirling about Justin Turner with the looming deadline. Some rumors about Zach Eflin, the pitcher on the mound as well. Even though he has 1 more year on his deal and $18 million owed to him, MLB.com reported today that the Cardinals are interested in Eflin. 1-1 pitch is lined to center field, sinking and down. 2-hit day for Justin Turner, who jogs to first. He's extended this bottom of the 6th with a single.
Well, that would make him more desirable, right? Because he has that extra year of control. He's worth $18 million.
I think so. He is going to be out of this game, though. Kevin Cash has stepped over the first baseline onto the field of play and pointed to his bullpen. A pat on the back to Eflin, who exits after 5 2/3 with a runner on first and 2 down, just like Yariel Rodriguez. It's a 2-2 game. Let's go to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check out the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Another reminder that Blair and Barker have Jays Talk once this game is in the books. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call once this game is over after the final out. All right, let's check that out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. In case you missed this from earlier, on the basketball side of the Olympics, the women's basketball team wrapping up their final tune-up game against Spain in Spain. Earlier today, they got thumped 68-48 in exhibition play. Kayla Alexander leading the way for Canada with 10 points. Aaliyah Edwards chipping in with 8 points and 14 rebounds. The next game will be the beginning of the women's tournament for Canada. Begins on Monday, July 29th against France. On the men's side, Canada beating Puerto Rico 103-93. That was their final exhibition game score on the weekend. They opened the men's tournament against Greece, who are led by their star player and flag bearer, two-time NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. That will be on Saturday in France. For all Olympic updates, check out sportsnet.ca/Olympics. Some NHL news for the Sabres fans out there. Buffalo announcing a 5-year contract extension for goaltender Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. The new deal carries an AAV of $4.75 million. And some NFL news. Cowboys star wideout CeeDee Lamb officially holding out. He is not reporting to camp. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport saying Lamb's representatives and the team have worked on a new contract but have not been able to come to terms, so he will collect fines for as long as he does not report to training camp. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get back down to the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. Bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Jays have a runner on first, Justin Turner. And with Dalton Varsho about to come up to the plate, Kevin Cash goes to a lefty here. Garrett Clevenger is on the mound for the Rays. 45th appearance of the season for Clevenger, 6-2 with a 3.38 earned run average. Left on left, the pitch to Varsho. Actually, a throw over to first. He did the lefty move, starting the motion, and then tossed over to check on Turner, who gets back standing. Jose Caballero way in at third base, although Varsho typically bunts to the first base side. Here's the pitch, and Varsho swings and misses, strike one.
And if he was going to bunt to the first base side, it would be the perfect time to do it. Ahmed Rosario is way back at second base at the cut of the grass out there.
The 0-1. Swing and a bouncer to short, backhanded by Walls, gathers, throws to first, beats Varsho by a step, and ends the inning. 2 hits for the Blue Jays, no runs. They leave 1 on, and we go to the 7th in a 2-2 game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle?
What's up, Blue Jays fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you to all 31,243 of you as of time of record who have hit that subscribe button. To those of you that are new here, please hit that subscribe button, and all of you, make sure that bell is turned on so you don't miss any of our awesome Toronto sports action. Whether we're live for the game and you've got a place to hang out with fellow Toronto sports fans, or whether we upload some shorts with some highlights or some other awesome sports content. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. And welcome to everybody that's new to this awesome, amazing Toronto sports community. Back to the action. We'll see you in the chat.
Come down to the core as Rogers Center transforms into Hogwarts. Harry Potter-themed entertainment and activities around the ballpark.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Magic moments create core memories. So fly down to Rogers Center on Friday, August 9th, and get one of 4 Blue Jays Harry Potter Hogwarts House Raglan shirts. Harry Potter Night. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
A game-tying blast from Bo Bichette.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Seventh inning in downtown Toronto. 2-2 Blue Jays and Rays in Game 2 of this series. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Hope you're having a good night. Thanks for spending it with us. This has been a back-and-forth game. Blue Jays were up 2-0, but the Rays with runs in each of the last 2 frames. Toronto tries to slow that down now with Chad Green coming in for the 7th. He'll start with Jose Siri. Right-hander tucks the ball into his glove chest high. The kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss. For Green, his 29th appearance of the year, a sub-2 earned run average and just under 29 innings of work. Fastball slider is the mix. The 0-1. Freezes Siri for strike 2. Siri, Rortvedt, Caballero, 6-7-8 for the Rays. Rortvedt sheds his donut off the bat. The 0-2 pitch, cut on and missed, strike 3. Both of us maybe a little bit surprised this early being the 7th and at this part of the order to see Chad Green enter.
I think that if it was the top of the order or maybe the 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around there, it would be more obvious. But like you said, it's a little bit odd that he's in the game right now.
First pitch to Ben Rortvedt, strike 1. I mean, it does point to the fact that Jimmy Garcia's probably right back in the back end of that bullpen like he was before he got injured. But it makes it interesting to see who they'd use in the 8th inning if it was tied or the Blue Jays were leading. 0-1. Line drive, right side, foul. Guerrero slides into foul territory. Was a couple feet away from that one. It bangs off the side retaining wall, and it's 0-2. The one thing I do wonder is at the top of the order, there's a pocket of lefties coming up. So maybe it's a situation where Yenesis Cabrera would handle that. But we'll just have to wait and see. 2-2 game, 1 out. Top of the 7th with nobody on. Green set and the 0-2. Low with the slider. Rortvedt bends down and lays off.
Is there a possibility that Chad Green would go 2 innings?
I think it's possible.
Or 1 2/3, Jimmy Garcia. Well, probably not coming in the 8th.
It is possible, though. 1-2. Fouled off of Alejandro Kirk and over to the right. And they could stretch Green into the next inning and then throw Cabrera against the lefty. If you finish an inning, the 3-batter minimum doesn't apply. So Cabrera could pitch against one guy to finish an inning, and then they could go to Garcia. 1-2 pitch, popped up foul, back of the plate, into the seats.
I actually like that idea better, bringing in Cabrera for those lefties. Maybe Chad Green goes an inning and a third, something like that.
Green's 1-2 again. Fouled back again. Before he thinks about next inning, he's got to find a way to get Rortvedt here. Rortvedt's fouled off 3 straight 2-strike pitches and now seen 6 in the plate appearance. Another 1-2. And another foul ball. A slider down and in that Rortvedt fouled on the ground to the right. The left-handed hitter pulled it to stay alive.
Well, Chad Green really hasn't thrown a 2-strike pitch out of the strike zone yet. If he throws that fastball above the strike zone or that slider below the strike zone, Rortvedt will swing at it.
1-2 fastball popped up, back of second. Springer's going to come in and wave off Horwitz, and he'll make the catch. 2 down.
That fastball was, in fact, out of the strike zone up. Rortvedt kind of chopped down at it. And really all he could do right there was hit a weak pop-up to right field, but that's exactly what Chad Green needed to do about 3 or 4 pitches earlier.
Still gets him, and now with 2 outs and the bases empty, here's Jose Caballero, the third baseman. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground, foul down the left field line. Mentioned earlier, Caballero was a member of the Mariners last year, and although he only played 1 year with them, helped match a club record of sorts. Takes the 0-1 outside, 1-1. Don't know if this is technically a record, but he homered in a game that he also stole 3 bases in, becoming the second Mariner ever to homer and steal 3 bases in the same game. Next pitch, foul tipped, 1-2. The only other one was Mike Cameron, who did it. Oh, sorry, I didn't give you the chance. Who did it against the Blue Jays in 2002.
I wasn't going to guess Mike Cameron.
I believe Pete Walker pitched in that game for Toronto. 1-2 pitch is hit in the air, center field. Kiermaier shuffling back, stops and makes the catch to end the inning. 1-2-3 for Chad Green, a strikeout and 2 flyouts. He sends us to the 7th inning stretch with a 2-2 game, Blue Jays and Rays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or 7th inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball hit to center field. Varsho with a dive, and he makes the catch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Manuel Rodriguez takes over for the Rays. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2-2, Toronto and Tampa Bay. Welcome back to Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Alejandro Kirk leading off for Toronto. Rodriguez delivers home and misses low. Ball 1. Second straight day, the Blue Jays have seen the righty, who's making his 15th appearance of the year. 3.21 earned run average. 1-0. Bouncing ball hit to short, backhanded by Walls. A shuffle and throw to first. 1 down. Yesterday it was Rodriguez who gave up the only runs that the Rays surrendered in that bullpen day. He served up back-to-back home runs to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Justin Turner.
2 spinning sliders. He's got that upper 90s fastball. Pretty good slider, too, but those two homers were on spinning sliders.
Ugly swing from Ernie Clement on a fastball. He stumbles out of the box. It's 0-1. He's going to throw that slider most, almost 50% of the time. Sinker next, then a four-seamer. 0-1. Swing and a soft liner up the middle, caught by the shortstop Walls. 2 outs.
Also a lot of movement on that fastball. That one right there ran in on the hands of Ernie Clement. It's a weak line drive to shortstop for out number 2.
So a pair of quick outs for Rodriguez. Kevin Kiermaier stepping in, the lefty hitter, and in left field, the lefty pitcher, Genesis Cabrera, getting loose for the Blue Jays. The pitch. Outside, ball 1.
You were right. Why aren't you the pitching coach?
So many reasons. So many reasons. The 1-0. Hit in the air, left center field, racing over Siri, just in front of the track, a long run, and he makes the catch. And ends the inning. A 1-2-3 for Rodriguez, and we go to the 8th, still 2-2, Blue Jays and Rays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
I'm John Paul Morosi, host of the SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown. Each week, I talk with a Baseball Hall of Famer about the challenges they overcame to become an all-time great.
It is a hard game, and mentally it's hard.
My legs started shaking.
They pretty much knew I was going to have lung surgery after the season. I wasn't for sure. Would I ever play baseball again?
The Road to Cooperstown is the official podcast of the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Episodes are available now on the all-new SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too.
This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, John Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hopefully you get a couple guys going at the same time, and we're just looking for consistency. It's been tough, it's been frustrating at times, but also feel good about the progress that certain guys have made and that the progress that we've made in terms of, our prep and our work.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy football players, learn winning strategies right now on Fantasy Sports Radio to help you draft a winning team on Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
Welcome back to downtown Toronto. 8th inning at Rogers Center, and still nothing to separate the Blue Jays and the Rays. Toronto 2, Tampa Bay 2, and the lefty Yenesis Cabrera taking over for the Blue Jays in the top of the 8th inning. Taylor Walls, the switch hitter, is turned around from left to right. He'll lead off, then Richie Palacios and Isaac Paredes. Cabrera rocks back and delivers home. First pitch fastball for strike one. Yenesis Cabrera making his 43rd appearance of the season. Earned run average just below 3.5. Lefty's pitch. Check swing, called strike. Through the curveball that time, it's 0-2. Four-seamer and sinker, cutter and curve, and a changeup for Cabrera. Likes to use the changeup to strike out righties. 0-2. Fouled back, went with the fastball at 96.
Interesting splits for Cabrera. Away games, a 5.29 ERA, but here at Rogers Center, a 2.05.
Huh. I hadn't noticed that before. That is interesting. Maybe just really likes the mound.
Or just luck.
Yeah. 0-2. High, 1-2. Yeah, probably random. Let's go Blue Jays chants around Rogers Center. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the changeup away, and that's a strikeout for the first out of the 8th.
So I just found out why it's not random. I was looking at a whole bunch of numbers over the last 15 seconds.
Give it to me.
Away games, he's walked 12. Home games, only 5. That'll do it.
And for Yenesis Cabrera specifically, that tends to be the difference a lot. When his command is good, the stuff usually plays really well. Left on left, his pitch to Richie Palacios. Inside, Palacios backs off the plate at 96, 1-0. First full season with the Blue Jays for Cabrera, acquired at the deadline from St. Louis last year. 1-0. Fouled off to the right, 1-1. He's become a huge part of this bullpen, not just this year, but when you look ahead. After the struggles and then DFA of Tim Meza, Cabrera probably sets up as the lead lefty for next season. 1-1. Swing and a foul ball headed near us, but it'll drop below our feet. 1-2.
My arms aren't long enough. But Yenesis Cabrera, he's one of those lefties out of a bullpen that really has the rare stuff. The upper 90s fastball, the very good off-speed stuff. And when he is throwing strikes, he's basically unhittable. And he's shown that over the last little while.
Ahead 1-2. The pitch. Bounced. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And you saw it with Cabrera last year with St. Louis, an ERA above 5, and he was walking over 5 per 9. Got the walks down to 2 per 9 with the Blue Jays and had an ERA in the 2s. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the cutter A little crouch from Cabrera and a skip off the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 down.
So much confidence out there. I mean, I would have a ton of confidence, too, if I had the stuff he did. But like I said, when he's throwing strikes with that fastball, with that cutter, with those other off-speed pitches, he's unhittable out there.
That's where I wonder if that plays into the home road splits at all. With the crowd behind him, maybe a little more amped up. Just guessing. Here's the pitch to Isaac Paredes. Bounce to the plate, 1-0. Did you like pitching at home or on the road more?
I didn't love pitching at Yankee Stadium, although I only pitched 2 innings. It was probably the worst 2 innings of my life.
1-0. Outside 2-0. I mean, it feels like a dumb question to ask if you liked pitching at PNC Park with how beautiful PNC Park is, but I'll ask it.
I loved it. Did not like pitching at Dolphin Stadium, I can tell you that much.
That's an interesting one.
Football lines on the field.
2-0. High and outside, 3 balls and no strikes.
I remember we came back from a road trip one time and the field was just mangled from a Dolphins game.
Like late in the season, so the Dolphins have started.
We were out of it. They didn't care about the baseball team. It's a weird place to play.
3-0. High, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Paredes with 2 outs. And that puts the go-ahead run on base for the Rays here in this 2-2 game.
We've actually seen that quite a bit, not only from Genesis Cabrera, but other members of this Blue Jays pitching staff as well. They get 2 quick outs and then a 4-pitch walk, something that just cannot be done, especially in a 2-2 ball game.
So Cabrera deals with traffic now as he gets another lefty-lefty matchup. Brandon Lau is up, 0 for 2 with a walk. The pitch. Swing and a foul back. This one's just over us. Strike 1. Only 1 ball in the booth this year. Came in the Boston series. You weren't here.
I was not here.
Madison Shipman got the ball.
Did she catch the ball or did she just pick it up off the ground?
She picked it up. It hit the front of the booth. It was a tough play. 0-1. Low 1-1.
I set you up to make her really look good,
yeah,
but you ruined it, buddy.
Well, I didn't want to lie. Someone that's listening tonight was listening to that game. I think it was more of a base hit than an error, to be honest. The 1-1. Hit on the ground right side, backhanded by the second baseman Horwitz. Stops on the turf and throws over to first to end the inning. 2 strikeouts and 1 left on base after the 2-out walk. Cabrera shuts the door, middle of the 8th inning. It's 2-2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in.
Hey Insiders, thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays game against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Yeah, I still call them the Devil Rays. Really appreciate all you guys being here. Please make sure you've hit that like button down below so it helps bring more fans into the chat. The other way to do that is to please share this link out to your friends via social media, whatever. Let's get more people here in the chat, blowing it up, cheering on our Toronto Blue Jays. We've got to get the win tonight to set it up for tomorrow. Let's go, Blue Jays. We'll see you guys in the chat.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big. On this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Bichette powers the ball to left field. Going back, Peralta. It's out of here.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-2 game in downtown Toronto. Jason Adam, the setup man for the Rays, is on to try to keep this game tied. Leo Jimenez leading off for the Blue Jays, 9-1-2 this inning. Adam kicks back, fires, and Jimenez swings and misses. Strike one. Second day in a row that the Blue Jays have seen Adam. He pitched a 1-2-3 eighth against the middle of the order yesterday. Righty's 0-1. Hit in the air, center field and shallow. Racing in Siri, and he dives to make the play. Might have caught it just before he left his feet. But a really nice play regardless. Takes a hit away from Jimenez. One down.
Well, off the bat, I thought that was a leadoff base hit for Leo Jimenez. Jose Siri with a great play in center field. That's a scary play, especially with those infielders converging on him. But he makes a nice play. Like you said, I think he caught it before he dove, but a big play right there.
Rosario kind of peeled off to give him the space. Now one out. And George Springer is up. 0 for 3 today. Adams pitch. Bounce to the plate. Ball one. Another really nice year for Jason Adam in that setup role. 47 appearances, a 2.20 earned run average. 1-0. Hit in the air down the right field line, slicing and out of play. Spencer Horwitz waits on deck. Nobody on, 1 out. 2-2. And the 1-1 pitch. Up and in. Springer down in a heap. Started to swing, so that almost brought the pitch closer to him, and then he twisted out of the way. He put a hand out to the pitcher saying, I know there's no ill will there. But the Blue Jays at least think maybe that hit him. I think Springer, too, was telling the dugout, no, it did not.
Yeah, I think John Schneider kind of took a quick look at it and then gave George Springer the thumbs up. I didn't think that hit him.
No. 2 balls and 1 strike. Adam reaches back and fires. Missed upstairs, 3-1. 39 walks this year for George Springer, second on the team to Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s 41. (3-1). Outside ball 4, making a 40th walk of the year for Springer. And the Blue Jays have the go-ahead run aboard with 1 out.
That was a good take. Adam actually stared in at home plate umpire John Lipka for a second. He thought that was a strike. It was a slider just off the plate outside. A good take from George Springer.
For Adam, it's 4-seamer change, sweeper, and slider. He'll now face Spencer Horwitz, who's 2 for 3 today. 2-2 game, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Springer on first, and the pitch. High ball 1. Not sure that this is the situation for it, but we haven't seen Springer take off in a while. And he's tied for the team lead in stolen bases with Dalton Varsho, has 9. Hasn't been caught yet this year. Turn and throw to first. Springer dives back. He was inching out his lead like maybe he was thinking about going.
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad time for George Springer to take off. 1 out, late in the ball game. You have a ball on Spencer Horwitz. There's a huge hole on the left side of this infield, too.
Springer takes off on the 1-0, pitches low ball. Throw down to second, not in time. Head first dive by Springer into the bag, making a perfect 10 for 10 this year for George Springer, who's now in scoring position.
And he swiped that bag with ease. Wasn't even close at second base.
Got a great jump on the Adam pitch. It was a 4-seamer, not a terrible pitch to throw on for Rortvedt, but Springer makes it anyway. With 1 out, the 2-0 pitch. Horwitz will take it for strike 1. Springer likely scores on any single to the outfield. Horwitz up now and Guerrero on deck. Horwitz will ask for time. Granted by home plate ump John Lipka.
And both of Horwitz's hits today have been to the left side of the field, so I'm actually surprised that the Rays are shading him so far to the right.
Two looks at second, and Adams' pitch. Swing and a foul off to the left. While they are definitely shading him to the right in the infield, they play straight up in the outfield. Jose Siri's in dead center. Shortstop Walls, though, is up the middle in between Springer and the second base bag. 2-2. Hit foul to the left again. New baseballs delivered to John Lipka. Spencer Horwitz is working another tough at-bat. Fouled off back-to-back pitches. He's seen 5 so far.
Always a battle when he's up there.
A .311 batter who has 12 RBIs. Springer on second, 1 out. A peek at second by Adam. One more look. And the 2-2. Called strike 3. Just got the inside edge. Horwitz hesitated for a moment. Not sure he loved it. That one barely got the zone, but it did for out number 2.
Yeah, Jason Adam got lucky there. That's not where he wanted that pitch. It was a changeup that was supposed to be away, but it just clipped the inside part of the plate. Spencer Horwitz was fooled. I don't know if he was fooled. He probably just thought that was a ball, but definitely clipped the inside part of the plate.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was going to come up next, but he's been intentionally walked. So they put Guerrero on first and bring Justin Turner up before they do Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, out to the mound to talk to his pitcher, Jason Adam.
It's always disappointing when Vlad gets walked in a big spot like that.
I think it's a no-brainer move there from the former Blue Jay Kevin Cash, but I agree with you.
As a fan, if I was here watching this game and I was one of the 35,000 people here, I would be disappointed.
But now they do bring up Turner, who's 2 for 3 today, and he went 3 for 4 yesterday. Has had a very impressive series, has the batting average up to 240, and he'll hit now in a big spot. 2-2 ball game. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Springer's on second, and Guerrero's on first. Turner knocked in his 30th RBI of the season yesterday. A little bit of discussion around the pitch clock, but I think we're ready to go now. Adams stepping back on the first base side of the rubber. They'll reset the clock, and Turner take a half swing and step in. Adam in the set. A look at second, and the pitch. Check swing, pitch was high and outside, ball 1. A loud crowd on a Wednesday night, looking for a big moment. The 1-0 to Turner. Outside again, 2-0.
You really have to hone in on your pitch right here. Don't swing at anything outside of the strike zone if you're Justin Turner.
Turner standing tall, 2-0 pitch. Called strike, and maybe a break there for Adam. That one looked a fair bit outside. It's 2-1.
That was worse than the pitch that George Springer walked on.
Yeah, that one was a fair bit off the plate. Turner still ahead in the count, though. He hits 286 this year when ahead. 2-1, check swing. Did he go? Appeal to first. He did go around, says DJ Rayburn. Crowd disagrees. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he definitely went around. Justin Turner didn't think he went around. That was a tough pitch, in on the hands. Yeah, he definitely went around on that slow motion replay.
He kept the bat somewhat close to his body, but his front shoulder twisted all the way to the left. And so it's 2-2. 2 on, 2 outs, 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 8th. Adam with a look at Springer on second. And the pitch home. Swinging a liner over the third baseman, Caballero down in left field. Springer getting the wave. He'll score without a throw. The Blue Jays take the lead on the third Justin Turner hit today. It's 3-2 Toronto, bottom of the 8th.
Well, on the previous pitch, Justin Turner looked terrible on a fastball in at the hands. They tried to sneak one in there again, and Justin Turner drilled that thing to left field. That's his best swing in a long time.
And they make the Rays pay for the intentional walk of Guerrero. That one tipped the glove of Caballero at third, but just had enough. Now the pitch to Dalton Varsho is chopped foul right side. 0-1. First lead for the Blue Jays since the Rays tied it up in the top of the 6th. It's 3-2 Toronto with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
It actually looked like Caballero could have caught that baseball.
He didn't fully extend above his head on the jump. 0-1. Outside.
But then again, that baseball was hitting very hard. So you can't fault Caballero, obviously, for not catching that baseball.
Hit 99 miles per hour, and he's 90 feet away. That's coming pretty quick. Back-to-back 3-hit days for Turner. 1-1. Outside again, 2-1.
It seemed like it was hit harder than 99 miles an hour. That's actually surprising to me. It probably was. You don't have to double check.
I think Vlad spoils everyone a little bit. He mishits balls at 105. 2-1. Roped on the ground through the whole right side. A base hit. Guerrero tearing around third. He'll come in to score. RBI single Dalton Varsho. Big claps over at first. It's 4-2 for the Blue Jays. Back-to-back pitch with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. A big knock for Varsho, and now runners on the corners in addition to the run coming in as Turner went first to third.
Well, that's got to feel good for Dalton Varsho in a big spot like that. Blue Jays are up 4-2 now. A little bit out in front of that baseball, but he was lucky enough to find that hole on the right side of the infield.
Turned on the changeup, hit it 100 miles an hour. In between the first and second baseman. Here's Alejandro Kirk. Adams pitch goes to the backstop, and Turner's taken off from third. He'll come in to score. Varsho up to second on the play. Might have been a cross-up, as that was a four-seamer that wasn't that high above the zone. It hit the glove of Rortvedt and went all the way to the backstop. It's 5-2 Blue Jays.
Yeah, that was most definitely a cross-up. That fastball right there from Adam was about at the mask of Rortvedt. Definitely expecting something off speed right there. That's a very catchable ball. Blue Jays are up 5-2 now as Justin Turner comes home.
All 3 runs this inning with 2 outs. And still a runner in scoring position. Varsho's on second. The 1-0 to Kirk. Called strike. Throughout the course of this inning, Jimmy Garcia has been getting loose, and it's been a long inning. So Garcia is kind of just standing around now, waiting for the 9th to come. Adams 1-1. Swinging a fly ball, towering out to left, but not very deep. Shortstop Walls is out there, and it bounces off his glove. It's down on the turf. Varsho scores. Kirk up to second. 6-2 Blue Jays on a gaff in left field. Walls went a long way out there. Arozarena was almost touching him in the back. Probably Arozarena's ball, but Walls went for it, and it hit his glove and fell down.
Well, Walls was very deep out there. Obviously, he called off Arozarena. That is definitely Arozarena's ball. And a very catchable ball. Blue Jays catch a break, and they're up 6-2 now.
Here's Ernie Clement. Kirk on second after the play, and the pitch is hit well. Left field, foul.
That previous play is definitely Arozarena's fault. He has to call Walls off. That's actually a tougher play for Walls going out to the outfield. He was camped underneath it, but he was very deep, had to go a long way to get that baseball.
Now the 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. So in this inning, the Blue Jays score on 2 hits, but then a passed ball by Ben Rortvedt and a fielding error by Taylor Walls, the shortstop. And the Blue Jays have really broke this thing open, up 6-2. Next pitch to Clement is a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that has Trevor Richards up and throwing now as the Blue Jays maybe think about keeping Jimmy Garcia rested here with a 4-run lead. 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to short, picked up by Walls. He'll clutch and throw over to first to end the inning. Toronto comes up with 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error and 1 left. 6-2, the Blue Jays lead going to the 9th inning. Looks like Jimmy Garcia will come on next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
All 32 NFL training camps have opened. Sirius XM NFL Radio, Channel 88, with a thorough examination of every team, including interviews with players, coaches, and team executives. Plus, the annual training camp tour starts Friday. NFL Radio, Sirius XM Channel 88, and the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports. Wherever you are, your team plays here.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on Sirius XM Channel 89 and every morning on the Sirius XM app.
Hello, Blue Jay fans. I'm Craig Ballard, host of your daily Locked On Blue Jays podcast. Locked On Blue Jays is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On Blue Jays brings you the latest Blue Jays news and analysis and breaks down all of the action. Locked On Blue Jays is everything a Blue Jays fan could want, all in a 30-minute daily podcast. Download Locked On Blue Jays right now on the SXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Blue Jays.
And it's gone!
Jays fans, this is John Schneider, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sirius XM.
There's the exclamation point for all assembled here at Rogers Center.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer. Luke Swadron, Armin Zargarian, and Tom Young, our technical directors. 6-2 for the Blue Jays on the back of a 4-run bottom of the 8th inning. And now John Schneider calls on Jimmy Garcia for the 9th inning, trying to close out a win. Randy Arozarena, Ahmed Rosario, and Jose Siri will hit this inning. Garcia's first pitch to Arozarena, called strike 1. Second time we've seen Garcia since his return off the injured list. His 0-1 is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. 29 appearances now for Garcia, a 2.48 earned run average. He came in against Detroit on the 20th and struck out the side. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Elevates a sweeper, and it's 1-2.
It would be nice to see a little bit more of that magic today.
Blue Jays had Trevor Richards up, but even in this non-save situation, go to Garcia. 1-2. A little bit high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Alejandro Kirk was standing on second base with 2 outs. I imagine that if he scored, Trevor Richards would have had enough time to warm up and come in this ball game. But Jimmy Garcia with a 4-run lead, a big ball game.
2-2 fouled off, still 2-2.
Why not?
They've sat Richards down, so this is Garcia's 9th. Trying to help the Blue Jays even up this series and set up a rubber match with the Rays tomorrow. The kick and the 2-2. Hit foul off to the right.
99 miles an hour with that fastball.
Garcia at times has hit triple digits in his Blue Jays tenure. And he's got a deep mix for a reliever as well. Another 2-2, low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia averages 97 on the 4-seamer. Has a sinker as well in the mid to high 90s, plus a curve, a sweeper, a changeup, and a slider. Another pitch is way up and in. That was the 3-2, and that'll be ball 4, a leadoff walk to Arozarena.
Yeah, not ideal, but not the end of the world. You're still up by 4 runs. Just bear down, get this guy. And I'm sure Arozarena will try to steal second here.
Blue Jays might let him, honestly.
Oh, I think they will.
Guerrero is holding on to Arozarena. Here's the pitch to Ahmed Rosario. Strike 1. Second at bat of the game for Rosario, who pinch hit in the 6th and grounded out to 3rd. The 0-1. Outside. Garcia staring in, sets at the belt. Arozarena leading off first. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball. Hits Kirk on the way to the backstop. It's 1-2. It has been a massive year for Jimmy Garcia in a contract year for the reliever. 3rd season with the Blue Jays, and he's been very effective as a Toronto reliever. 1-2, Arozarena takes off, pitches low a ball, throw down to second, skips away into center. Horwitz holds a ghost tag on the runner, Arozarena, who never got up. So that'll go down as a stolen base for Arozarena, his 16th of the season.
Yeah, even with a perfect throw, I don't think that they would have got Arozarena at second base. Jimmy Garcia not really worried about him trying to make a good pitch, especially with 2 strikes.
Pitch was called a ball, although it was pretty close. Might have been a strike. It's 2-2. Arozarena on second, 6-2 Blue Jays. No outs, top of the 9th. The pitch to Rosario. Fouled back. Went with the slider, which is his least used pitch of the 6. And had Rosario leaning out in front. Even though that pitch wasn't away, he was reaching out like it was when he spoiled it behind him. Another 2-2. Called strike 3. 98 miles an hour on the outside edge. 1 down.
And that's about as nasty as it gets. A fastball that just caught the outside part of that strike zone. Ahmed Rosario knew it. He was walking back even before the call was made. That's life through the zone right there.
So 1 down now, and here's Jose Siri with a runner on second. 6-2 Blue Jays, top of 9. Garcia looks at second and fires. Strike 1, 96 at the knees. As much as the velocity is exciting, the location for Garcia really seems to separate him from other relievers. 0-1. Misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Outside of the stuff and the command, I think the demeanor on the mound is one of my favorite things as well. He never lets anything bother him.
1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Earlier this year, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, John Schneider said Jimmy Garcia is one of the nicest guys on the team and one of the last ones that I'd want to mess with on the entire team.
He's a big boy.
Here's 1-2. Fouled off. A breaking ball that Siri spoils behind him. Garcia, 6'1", 230 pounds. Palms up the baseball and looks in. A set at the belt, looking down in front of him. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the curve, back-to-back strikeouts, and the Rays are down to their final out here in the top of the 9th.
I mean, when you're geared up for 99 at the top of the zone, it's tough to make contact with that off-speed pitch right there, especially the one that looks like a fastball but breaks away off the plate. So nasty.
It was 84, and it started right on the outside edge and then dove away. 2 down now. Runner on second. 6-2 Blue Jays. The pitch to Ben Rortvedt outside, ball 1. Over 32,000 fans here on a Wednesday night. Loud all night. Blue Jays scored 4 in the bottom of the 8th, and that's why they're up 6-2 in the 9th. Right on left, the pitch. Swinging a liner, right field, base hit. Arozarena will get the wave, and he'll score easily. Rortvedt around first. As Springer scoops it off the track, Rortvedt settles into second with an RBI double. It's 6-3.
And again, not the end of the world. You're still up by 3. Just get the guy at home plate. Don't worry about that guy at second base. He could be moving around, jumping around, trying to steal third. Don't worry about him.
Tying run remains in the on-deck circle right now for the Rays, as Jose Caballero comes up to the plate, and now a 6-3 game. Dominican righty Jimmy Garcia set. A look in at Jose Caballero, and the pitch hit on the ground softly to third. Picked up by Clement. A shuffle, a throw on to first. Dug out by Guerrero on the backhand side. That's the ball game. A tight game all the way through, but the Blue Jays rally for a 4-run 8th with the help of some shaky defense from the Rays, and they beat Tampa Bay 6-3 to knot up this series at 1 game apiece.
That was a great overall game from everybody. The offense, the defense, the pitching was great. Yariel Rodriguez didn't really go as deep as I thought he would go into this ball game. Pitched very well. John Schneider, I would love to know why John Schneider took him out so early, but he pitched very well today. Looked great. That's a good sign for this Blue Jays team.
The Blue Jays win 6-3. We will take a quick step aside. When we come back, we'll wrap it up and send you over to a winning edition of Blue Jays Talk. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Lumos. Witches, wizards, and muggles come down to the core as Roger Center transforms into Hogwarts. Harry Potter-themed entertainment and activities around the ballpark.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Magic moments.
What's up, insiders? This community continues to grow like crazy, all because of you guys sharing this link out on the social networks, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, however you have it. And check us out while you're at it, and make sure to drop a follow at TS_insider on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Thank you guys for your support in building this community. Let's make it even bigger and even better as we head into hockey season coming up in a couple of months. We'll see you guys in the chat. Go Blue Jays, go.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got up to chase the back foot slider. That's a strikeout for Pop.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center after a Blue Jays win 6-3. They take down the Rays today to even this series at 1 and set up a rubber match tomorrow. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays Talk is coming up in just a second, but first, Chris, you mentioned it just off the end of the game. Yariel Rodriguez gets the start today. He went 5 2/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. A very strong day from the righty again.
Yeah, and I think that he pitched even better than the box score indicates. 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, but he came out of the game and he had only given up 1 run to that point. Brendan Little came in and threw 7 straight balls. So I hate looking at the box score, but my eye test, Yariel Rodriguez was in peak form today, looking a lot like he did before the All-Star break.
Rodriguez with a strong performance. Zach Eflin, though, was equally good. He also went 5 2/3. He also gave up 2 earned runs, although on 6 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts, including an RBI single from Vlad Guerrero Jr. and a home run from Vlad, his 18th of the season. But going into the 8th inning, it was 2-2. The Blue Jays got a base runner on against Jason Adam, the tough setup man for the Rays. George Springer walked. Then with 2 outs, an intentional walk to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because first base was open. Springer had just stolen second base. And that brought up Justin Turner. He stepped up in a tie game with 2 outs and delivered today's play of the game. Adam with a look at Springer on second. And the pitch home. Swinging a liner over the third baseman, Caballero down in left field. Springer getting the wave. He'll score without a throw. The Blue Jays take the lead on the third Justin Turner hit today. It's 3-2 Toronto, bottom of the 8th.
Well, you got to love it when the intentional walk backfires. You walk the best guy on the offensive side of this Blue Jays team to get to Justin Turner. Justin Turner again, he's so hot right now. 3 for 4. That average is up to 243 now.
6 for 8 in the series is Turner, and that really opened the floodgates. Dalton Varsho came up with an RBI single, and then the Rays kicked it around a little bit. A pass ball and an error scored 2 more runs to give the Blue Jays a 6-2 lead. Jimmy Garcia came in the 9th inning in a non-save situation, gave up 1, but closed it out for the Blue Jays, who win 6-3. Toronto scores 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors, 4 left. The Rays with 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 5 left on. The win in relief for Yenesis Cabrera, he's 3-2. The loss in relief for Jason Adam, he's 4-2. Over 32,000 tonight on a beautiful night at Rogers Center, 25 degrees, and it was a sprint, 2 hours and 19 minutes, the final game time from Rogers Center. The Blue Jays improved to 46-55, Rays back at 500 at 51-51, and all of this sets up a rubber match tomorrow and a great pitching matchup. Taj Bradley, the young phenom for the Rays, matches up with the wily veteran Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays. First pitch goes at 3:07. The great Eric Smith will have that one alongside Chris. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. For Luke Swadron, Armin Zargarian, and Tom Young, our technical directors, Show Ali, our host and producer, and my partner Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, and stick around. Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker starts right now.
All right, well, this is it's a nice change, Kevin Barker. We can talk about lots to do. Lots in the Blue Jays win. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. I will not talk to, if you want to talk about the trade deadline, because that seems to be what's on everybody's mind as we tick closer to July 30th. But Kevin, let's talk about tonight's game. Let's start with Yariel Rodriguez. We asked the question on Blair and Barker. His first outing since the 12th, obviously with the All-Star break included in that. But 73 pitches, 43 fastballs. Looked as if it's based on the last time we saw him, looked a lot more efficient. You're a little surprised that John Schneider took him out when he did after only 73 pitches.
No, Brendan Little was good. Coming into this game, you didn't want to let Brandon Lau beat you. No matter what, you bring it in a lefty. You had a lefty in the bullpen. It's been hot. Little 1 run in the last 8 games. ERA of 1.5. Like gets back to that John Gibbons thing, right? I'm going to do it so I don't have to answer the question. And that watching the game yesterday, you saw Lau hit a home run 3rd time through off Barrios, right? It's just the room for error against these dudes, middle of the order, 3rd time through the lineup's just not the greatest. And you just mentioned it, 11 days between starts is a long time, right? He's a touch and field guy sometimes. I mean, he was fastball heavy today, which that's the blueprint now, I think, for him. You have a balanced attack with the slider, the curve, the sinker, and the split, right? That was 12-7, 6-5, right? Sort of unpredictable with those 4 pitches. because you're around the zone at least 60% of the time with the fastball. That allows you to be much better with those other pitches and can be more balanced. So Kirky did a good job pushing the right button at the right time against the right hitter. Now, there is some things, right? He was 10 for 20 with throwing strike one. That's not great, right? The balk, look, that's an umpire. Look at me. I haven't been noticed in a while. I'm going to call a balk. I mean, one walk. Look, that's not a balk. I mean, get your head out of your derriere. Pay attention to what a guy's been doing the entire time. I understand he hadn't let a ton of people on base, so you basically haven't seen him out of the stretch. But let's go, dude. Uncle with that. Pay attention to what you're doing. So, there is some things. Well, I know what you're doing, and it's not going to work. Okay?
Just about work.
There is some things, right? It's the rhythm and timing in the stretch. We saw that. Joe Siddle talked about that, about being a little bit of hurry, releasing the baseball, holding runners on, right? This is the big leagues. This is not overseas. You got to do a better job. Rays are very aggressive, at least early in counts, trying to steal bases. You got to be a little bit better at that, right? Hold the ball maybe a little longer, quick pitching. Like there's some things that he can tweak to do a little bit better. And strike one, right? He starts throwing strike one a little bit more efficient and then can be unpredictable after he gets in a flow of throwing strike one with those other four pitches other than the fastball, because he has natural cut. He's got some, deceptive movement and release point out of the hand with all those pitches. I mean, the dude's filthy. Like now it's about cleaning some things up, right? I mean, a lot of the times you don't have to drop down sidearm 2-0 against the Rosarena. Like you don't have to do that. You don't have to pause in a 3-2 count trying to throw a ball away to a guy who's very aggressive. Like those are things that you learn on the fly, which he'll learn. He'll refine them. He'll get much better. They'll be more confident, give him the ball a little bit longer, and this is a step forward. Good for him. You've said this a bazillion times. They're really going to need him because of who they don't have going into next year. So if they can figure it out, he gets more experience. They got 10 or 12 more starts. He's got an opportunity here to turn the corner, hit the ground running next year, and be a big part of the rotation.
Yeah, and that is that's where we are right now with this team. Tonight's result aside, and we've talked about this, we do believe that there will be at least one starting pitcher moved at the trade deadline. Probably Yusei Kikuchi. I would think Jimmy Garcia is probably a candidate to move as well. If you were scouting Jimmy Garcia tonight, and you were probably like seeing that 98 at last. I
like the movement, the location.
98.
That's what I like.
And again, top of the zone, bottom of the zone, and
that's it.
There was a lot of movement, and he looked very much like the Jimmy Garcia that we've seen.
I told you he'd look real good in the seventh inning on a good team.
Yes, he would.
Oh, would he?
Yes,
man, alive.
4 runs for the Jays in the 8th inning, an error contributing to that, a pass ball contributing to it as well. Vladdy intentionally walked for only the second time this season, if you can believe it. The first
he stunk half the season,
well,
so
that's
yeah,
true.
I can believe
First time since May 13th against the Baltimore Orioles that he was intentionally walked. Vladdy, he is on a heater. Another home run tonight. I'm going to ask you this, Kevin. I understand that recency bias is a thing. Is this as good as he has looked since that MVP year? I'm not just talking about numbers, but I'm in terms of how he is putting those numbers together.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to go back and look. I mean, he had a pretty good year last year, right? 25 and 95.
I don't remember him.
Year. I'm sure he went through a stretch or two there that he was hammering pitches that he should be hammering. I just think, again, I said this today, he's predictable. His bats are real predictable because of what he's not swinging at. That's the most important part out of all this, right? He's not chasing the slider a little bit away. That's the pitcher's pitch. Most of the time, he's not chasing the right-handed sinker in off the plate like he was. Now that allows him to be on time, catch the ball out front because of the steep bat path. And boy, when he is catching them out front, he has got a one-way ticket, Jeff, to Backleg City.
Ian in Toronto, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
How are you guys tonight?
Doing well, Ian.
So I don't get why Rodriguez was pulled in the 6th inning. There really was no call for it. A couple of people said pitch count, but he was at 72, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't
and
a pitch count.
His last 3 times were 80. I don't know and understand why Schneider pulled him out, and I doubt there's any good reason that I would ever be able to hear about it. It really makes no sense. It's not about wins at this point. It's about, if you're going to retool for 2025, you need to figure out who you can use and who you can't use for next year, which also means finding a way to get Turner and Kiermaier moved as fast as possible to give guys like Baroa and everybody else more plate appearances to, again, see who can be a useful piece for next year. And one question that I have for you guys is, Vlad is hitting well, but because the games don't matter, to me, it doesn't really mean anything. Since he's finally doing well, he doesn't have a long-term contract. Do you consider moving him at this point? Because his stock is probably never going to be any higher than it is right now.
I appreciate the call, Ian. I mean, the whole thing about, do we view it differently because there's no pressure on him and because the team isn't winning? I mean, it's pitcher against hitter. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard is. Doesn't matter where the team is in the standings. You want Vladdy to hit home runs. He's hitting home runs. He's hitting home runs against a pitcher on a team that thinks it is a chance at the playoffs.
Now, to be fair, the at-bats did look a little different when the games were meaningful. Like to start the season, the bat was gripped a little tighter.
Well, all those games are meaningful at the start of the season. I don't.
Like they were in it. That's why in the off season and in spring training, when you were going, hey, he needs help. Like he needs to look the best year he's ever had. Look what he had around him.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be honest.
But at the same time, you can't sit here and criticize a guy, and then all of a sudden he makes a change that you've been wanting him to make for 2 months, and now all of a sudden we're saying, well, it doesn't count because the pressure's off.
I'm not saying it don't count. I'm just saying
agreed with the call.
No, I'm saying there's something to
You're
the first
denigrating Vladdy
That's
Jr.'s
what I'm
turnaround.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
You are.
Again, I've been around you long enough to know what you're doing, and it ain't working. But I'm just telling you right now, the at-bats look totally different. And I'd sign him.
So you're saying Vladdy is a front runner.
There ain't no way I'm trading him.
No.
This lineup would be unwatchable without Vladdy in it.
Yeah,
no chance I'm trading him.
No, there isn't. I just don't think there is. I think you've got to take a run at signing this guy. And as I've said, my biggest concern isn't so much will Vladdy sign here. It's, will this front office get it done? Is there enough trust between him, his people, and Ross and Mark to get this done? I mean, we're led to believe that they've had conversations about this in the past. We're also led to believe that those conversations went absolutely nowhere. So I don't know. Does that change this offseason? I do know this. You've got to have something to build your team around. Like it's one thing to sit here and say blow it all up. You can't blow it all up by blowing it all up, right? You've got to have somebody. You've got to have somebody that you can build around. And I guarantee you can blow this thing up, but in 2 years we're going to be sitting there saying, "Man, if only we had a middle of the order hitter." Like Vladdy's proved enough to me right now that I would give him that long-term contract. I honestly don't think that you would regret it. And quite frankly, I'll be blunt, the people in this front office right now who give out that contract, they're not going to be around here when the contract runs out anyhow.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, but the sad thing about it is because they've waited about 3 years too long, it might start with a 3 now.
Yeah,
instead of a 2.
Maybe. But
by the way, Ian can't be surprised they brought the lefty in to face the lefty. Like, this is 2024. It's the era of the matchup.
Yeah, I do get his. I do get his point though.
They know what Rodriguez is.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. They know what he is. I don't think that Yariel Rodriguez's his place in the pecking order for next year is going to change because he only threw 72 pitches tonight instead of 73. I'm also a big believer. This may be a little too old school. I like letting a guy leave a game feeling good about himself. I still do. When it's a guy I'm counting on, you put a lot in this guy's plate. This guy, he's getting a lot of money, but he's, culturally he's had to adjust to some. This is a big adjustment for him. This is a guy who didn't pitch much last year, and I have no problem letting him letting him feel good about himself. Look at the way he walked off the field. I have no problem with that.
He hangs a split finger to allow everybody's yelling and screaming at John Snyder. Why didn't he bring in Brandon Little, who's been dominating people the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, again, that is the thing with
that's a fact.
The thing with the Brandon Little of the worlds, though, right? It is quite possible that they'll come out and stink and throw 7 consecutive balls. Like, we're not talking about a sure thing with this guy. But let's find out. Let's find out about him. Games like tonight, I think you find out a little bit about him. Brendan in Alberta, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to talk to you about what I'm seeing from Jimmy Garcia right now. The guy's got almost 4 fastballs with the 2 different two-seamers. Like, the one down at the bottom of the zone, the sinker, is really dropping and cutting or running inside on right-handers. And then he's got that two-seamer at the top of the zone, which moves a hell of a lot inside. And fastball, cutter, slider. I mean, when you talk about a guy that has that many pitches, you worry about him maybe being in the 9th inning, but like you said, Barker, in the 7th, 8th inning on a good team, I don't really worry about that. But the question is, what do you get back for him, right? So, are you looking more at a Francisco Liriano for Teoscar Hernandez type deal, where you get a guy who can maybe help you the next year, but might not work out? Or are you looking for maybe more of a Steve Pearce kind of rental deal, where you get a guy who can help you 3-4 years down the road?
I mean, thanks for the call. I'd love to see them move him to get another, Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, a lot will depend on the market. A lot will depend on what other relievers are out there. A lot will depend, frankly, on, what the acquiring team for Jimmy Garcia is doing in addition to getting Jimmy Garcia. It depends what you will have left to trade. Look, Jimmy Garcia is a rental. He's a rental 7th inning reliever. Maybe. Teoscar Hernandez, when he came here, was the 9th ranked prospect in the Astros system. He was behind Derek Fisher. I mean, it was, which tells you pretty much all you need to know about prospect rankings. But nonetheless, yeah, if you could get 6 tools, exactly.
Not my words.
Well, when do what is plate going on the waiver wire? Does that constitute as a tool? That would be his 6th tool. That and letting fly balls bounce off his head. But
I think it's
that's
Jeff. I think it's quantity. That's what it is, right? I mean, if you want position players,
you're not getting 2 or 3 guys for a 7th inning reliever who's a free agent. You're not.
Well, I mean,
you're going to get again, maybe you got Aoki and Hernandez in that deal. That might be what you get now. You'll probably get a guy who might help you a little bit this year, but won't be around next year.
Well, I mean, that's 2 guys.
And another guy.
Yeah, 2 guys.
Yeah, but
2 or 3 guys. Quantity. That's what you want.
Well,
the more you got, better chance of getting it right. The more you get.
No, I want a guy that I have a pretty good idea gives me something I don't have right now.
Well, good luck.
Good
luck. Good luck with what you got to try and get it. Good luck.
I'm saying when the Jays made the deal for Teoscar, they didn't have any outfielders in the system. That's what I'm saying. You get this organization doesn't have any hitters in the system, so you've got to get a hitter. But you're not getting this year's cleanup hitter for Jimmy Garcia. You're just not.
Well, I'm not disagreeing.
416-870-0590 star 590 1-888-866-0590 6-3. The Blue Jays have evened the series with the Tampa Bay Rays. The 3rd and final game goes tomorrow at 3:00. We'll take a break and come back with more of your calls. It's Blue Jays Talk on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza, and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or seventh-inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikey's accessible to the public. And now,
What's up, Blue Jays fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you to all 31,243 of you as of time of record who have hit that subscribe button. To those of you that are new here, please hit that subscribe button, and all of you, make sure that bell is turned on so you don't miss any of our awesome Toronto sports action. Whether we're live for the game and you've got a place to hang out with fellow Toronto sports fans, or whether we upload some shorts with some highlights or some other awesome sports content. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it, and welcome to everybody that's new to this awesome, amazing Toronto sports community. Back to the action. We'll see you in the chat.
On our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Centre. Visit timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball cracked to center field, to the wall, to the track. It's gone.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
He's been pretty consistent. You know, he loves coming here every day and hanging out with the guys and doing his thing, really. I think he's just in a good spot. You know, I think he's just comfortable, confident, and dangerous. You know, I mean, every single at bat, he just feels dangerous. But no, he's been pretty steady.
As John Schneider talking about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Barker, you made an interesting point as the game was winding down. You said to me, "How often have you seen Vladdy in the wrong position around the bag lately?" It's amazing when you're hitting how much better you play defensively, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
Almost. Shlomo and Scarborough, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys. Blair, I hope you're lighting these candles for Turner to keep turning the season around so we can get something in return for him.
Yeah, I'm not lighting any candles, trust me. The way things are going this year, candles things wouldn't work out.
I feel you. Well, you did a good job with Barrios last year, so I figured maybe you're back at it. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about is if we're going to be optimistic here about the Blue Jays, the way this front office wants us to be, and we're going to look at comps from last year, St. Louis Cardinals, what did they do right to turn it around and become more competitive this year? What can the Jays learn from both their deadline and their off season?
I mean, yeah, that's a great point. Thanks for the call. The Cardinals were 71-91 last year. This year they're 53-48. They were awful at the start of the year. I mean, a lot of people thought that the manager was going to be fired. He wasn't. You know, the first thing that comes to my mind is they're in the NL Central.
That helps.
That helps. But they've also, quite frankly, got a little more in terms of, I think, position player depth than the Blue Jays do. But mainly, to me, it's the Central. You know, I'm not being flippant. I just think it is. I don't know how you feel, Kevin, but I think the Central has a lot to do with that. The division has a lot to do with that. I don't know if the Cardinals were in the East, for example, and even in the National League East, I don't know where they'd be. But it's an interesting comparable. But I look at that Cardinals lineup and I look at what they had I just think there's a little more depth there than the Blue Jays have.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more balanced. I'm not sure.
Actually, thank you. That's a better way. Yes, that's a better way to put it. That's a better way to put it.
I think the stars in their lineup have been performing, a little bit more.
I don't think the fall off has been as dramatic as it was with these guys.
Yeah,
right?
I think some guys are starting to turn the corner a little bit and giving a few better at bats. But I'm with you. I think it's the division they play in. I think when you're always like the Jays are looking up at the two behemoths in the American League East. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to just ignore that and think you're going to turn the corner and all of a sudden show up and be one of the better teams in the American League. It's not the easiest thing to do. So, yeah, again, I'm in that camp, and I don't think this is a hard fix. I really don't. I think you got a blueprint on how to go out and buy some decent pitching. You revamp your bullpen, and you get some thumpers. That's what you do. That can thump baseballs. There you go.
Yeah. I can't disagree with anything you said there. But again, the difference to me, I think, is the Cardinals division more than anything else.
Jeff, you want to know something? Every time I watch Dalton Varsho catch a baseball in the outfield like he does, I'm thinking to myself, man, if he could only hit.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Close your eyes and think about that for a second.
I mean, I'm sure Ross Atkins does I'm sure he says that every night as well. If Dalton Varsho could just hit, because that's the trade that people are, and until he makes a better deal, until he makes a deal that removes that trade from the table, rightly or wrongly, fairly or unfairly, because I've said he has made some good deals, but that's a deal that people are going to be judging him on. They're not going to be judging him in the Teoscar deal or the Joaquin Benoit deal or the Jose Barrios deal. Even though I think all those deals were fine, they're going to be judging him in the Dalton Varsho deal. and that's the way it is. Sam and Hamilton, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys. First of all, wouldn't it be just absolutely cruel if Kevin Kiermaier is the reason why Dalton Varsho doesn't win up another Gold Glove this year? I mean, think about that.
Yeah. Kevin Kiermaier, by the way, we should, I know they talked about it during the broadcast, but he told Mark Topkin today that he is stepping down at the end of the year. So, I mean, it would be nice. And Sam, I'll let you get your question out there, but I do want to say this. It would be nice for someone to pick Kevin up and let Kevin have a shot at the postseason this year. I mean, I'm not saying we hold a charity drive for him, but I'd like to see that. I'd like to see somebody pick him up and let him have a go in the postseason. It's just me. Go ahead, Sam.
Doubt. Yeah. So I've been listening to your show. Obviously, I always listen to your show. I always call in, obviously text in. The Barker's back line is always the best. But you guys have been talking about, holding this core together, staying. And I've always thought 2025 was kind of like a last dance for this core. And if this front office is going to go all in on Shohei Ohtani last year, now I know Shohei Ohtani is, off field, but why not go all in on Juan Soto this next offseason? And if you don't get Juan Soto, then you can blow it up. And plus, I think the next GM should make the decisions on Bo and Vladdy.
Yep.
That's why I think Bo and Vladdy are staying. And I don't think Bo. And also, Kevin, you just said about Vladdy's next contract. Honestly, if he finishes the way this season ends, I think there's a 4 in front of it. I think Vladdy can ask for $400 million.
Yeah. I mean, I think he will. I'm not entirely certain he would get it, but I don't know. Listen, you know what? I've had a really difficult time sort of coming up with a comp for Vladdy. I've kind of fallen into use Rafael Devers' contract as a comp for Vladdy. And, really, I mean, I haven't learned. I'd be lying if I said I looked at the numbers and compared his numbers. And it's not just raw numbers when it comes to contract. Now, there's so much involved analytically in looking at guys that it's kind of a fool's game sitting here and saying, well, I'd only give this guy $25 million. I'd give this guy $28 million. I'd give this guy $31 million. I would say this. It's going to take, to keep Vladdy, you're going to have to make him the highest paid player in club history, and I would have no problem with that. When I look at his age, when I look at his production, when I look at the fact that he does seem happy to be here, I would have no problem with that. I would have no problem with that at all. Juan Soto, listen, I'll tell you right now, I know that they'll make a call. I mean, they will make a call on Juan Soto.
They always do, yeah.
Dude, does that mean he's going to sign here?
Nope.
Nope. But they will make a call on him. they will make a call on Juan Soto. And, and I know people are going to roll their eyes over, right, Jeff? Well, they made a call on Shohei Ohtani. But, it's like you can't criticize this front office or ownership for not spending money. They spend money. Now, we can sit here and say that the front office has spent money poorly, that the front office has spent more money on pitching at the expense of offense. We can do that. But it certainly isn't ownership's fault. I mean, ownership's given them what they need to compete. And I don't see that changing. I really don't. If there's a deal out there that makes this team better next year and involves a considerable amount of money being put out, I think the Jays will do that. They may have to rearrange things a little bit, but I can see them doing that. As far as the core goes, I felt all along you couldn't sign both of them. That by hook or by crook, whatever happened, only one of these two guys was going to stay here. We've always talked about that. I mean, David Sampson talks about it. It's always just seemed as if you're only going to sign one of them. Now we've gone back and forth. Vladdy, Bo, Vladdy. Then most of the time we stuck on Bo. Now we're back to looking at Vladdy.
I think Bo would have been cheaper, but now it seems like Vladdy wants to be here. That I think is the difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I also think that Bo's looked around, and I'm sure he and his agents have seen what shortstops are getting in the free agent market. It's the marquee position right now.
No question.
In baseball. So I think that's at work as well. But listen, I think this team is prepared to spend money in the offseason. I really do. And I would hope that they do take a serious run at signing Vladdy. And my hope is that front office, if they do bring this front office back, my hope is that there's enough of a relationship there that they can get it done. But I guarantee you, most Blue Jays fans, if I put 100 of them in this room, 98 would say they feel they have a better chance of signing Vladdy if it was somebody other than this front office making the call.
I'm in that camp.
6-3, the Blue Jays have beaten the Tampa Bay Rays. The series is tied up. Third game of the series goes tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We'll be on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, at Sportsnet after the game with Blue Jays Talk. Thank you for listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Barrie and Aurelia. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com. Canada's #1 rust protection.
This has been Major League Baseball play-by-play on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app. Why do I love...
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. This full Blue Jays game here and Blue Jays talk afterwards. Just getting home. Big shout out to everybody here in the chat tonight. Thank you guys and ladies for hanging out with us and watching these Blue Jays get the victory tonight. Play a little bit of small ball. I love it. So big shout outs. Christian Cox in the chat. Jared, Stefan, as always. Lisa, there's love of my life. TSI Allison, thanks, babe. And got Hayden in the chat as well. Lots of new folks in the chat as well tonight. K Do, Chris F. Grave hanging down there in Cambridge, Ontario. Love it. Thanks for bringing the energy, Chris. Love it, man. And appreciate all of you guys being here, growing this awesome community, because that's what we're doing here. It is a Toronto sports community. Thank you for being here. If you want to watch a Toronto sports team and you want to hang out with some Toronto sports fans while the game is going on, this is the place to be. Toronto Sports Insider. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Blue Jays game. It's a day game. I'm flirting with doing the soccer game as well. The Canada Soccer, the women's game in the morning. But we'll see. Not sure about that one yet. Have a great night, everybody. Signing off. Till tomorrow. Peace.
Soundtrack of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio right now on SiriusXM.
All rise.
Coming in 5.
Get ready to play.
4.
Get up! Get up!
3.
Can you believe it? Put your seatbelt on.
Wow. Talk about the game and all the stories on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the SiriusXM app.
Oakland A's take on the Houston Astros.
A's on Sirius 119, XM 180 and Internet 859. Astros on Internet 850. 3:40 p.m. Seattle Mariners take on the LA Angels. Mariners on Sirius 137, XM 181 and Internet 864. Angels on Internet 852. 6:40 p.m. Miami Marlins take on the Baltimore Orioles. Marlins on Sirius 139, XM 183 and Internet 854. Orioles on Internet 842. 6:40 p.m. Cleveland Guardians face the Detroit Tigers. Guardians on Sirius 138, XM 182 and Internet 847. Tigers on Internet 849. 6:45 p.m. Washington Nationals taking the San Diego Padres. Nationals on Sirius 161, XM 184 and Internet 869. Padres on Internet 862. 7:05 p.m. New York Yankees taking the New York Mets. Yankees on Sirius 208, XM 175 and Internet 858. Mets on Internet 857. 7:07 p.m. Toronto Blue Jays taking the Tampa Bay Rays. Blue Jays on Sirius 209, XM 176 and Internet 868. Rays on Internet 866. 8:05 p.m. Texas Rangers face the Chicago White Sox. Rangers on Sirius 210, XM 177 and Internet 867. White Sox on Internet 845. Spanish Feed on Internet 870. 8:10 p.m. Kansas City Royals taking the Arizona Diamondbacks. Royals on Sirius 211, XM 178 and Internet